not just America's card room. We're the world's card room. A place where everyone comes together to play the game we all love. We are all unique, all competitive, and all striving to be the best. But at the end of the day, through thick and thin, we are all in together.
From the Lodge Poker Club in beautiful Round Rock, Texas, welcome to Poker Night at the Lodge. My name is Rick Epstein, along tonight with two great guests, my normal co-host, Mike the Skull Reisman, and a special guest, Corey Siegel, who, Corey finished 10th in this tournament that we're going to broadcast to you tonight. You just missed out on the final table, but welcome and thanks for stopping in to talk with me and Mike tonight and share some of your thoughts. But this is an exciting one, Mike. This is the big one, 251 entries and a prize pool of over $50,000. So, Mike, welcome back.
Yeah, Art of Poker, our 21st episode of Poker Night at the Lodge. We're live streaming tonight. Usually Saturday night is our 5-5 uncapped game, but we decided to stream this tournament tonight, a special tournament, Art of Poker. Let's see who's going to be our December champion.
And Corey, I know you just played a full day of poker and finished 10th, and you're going to be able to add some thoughts on some of the guys you played with throughout the day and how they're playing such a hand. So welcome tonight.
Thank you. I see the guy right now.
Awesome. So Frank is in the box, and we're ready to go. Breonna Taylor, it's a great name there with King Jack. Raises to 80K. T will make the call, and we'll go to the flop, 7-5 deuce, and T flops a set. Nice way to start the final table, flopping a set. And we'll go around the table once this hand goes and talk a little bit about the players. And Breonna Taylor, all in. T goes all in with his set. It's going to be tough for Breonna Taylor to call with King Jack. Expect him to fold, right, guys?
Yeah, Breonna's a great player. He actually plays second.
Yeah, pretty sweet to have your opponent drawing dead. Right smack dab on the flop there, but not enough to continue, and instead of deuces is going to take it down.
So there's our chip count right now. Joe with 1.2 million. Breonna Taylor 895. T, who just flopped a set, is up there in rank. And in seat 1 we have Lewis. Seat 2, Foddy, or we'll call him Mayo. Seat 3 is Breonna Taylor. Bryson. Seat 4 is Joe Turbo. Seat 5.
Check.
Seat 5 is Reyes, who we've seen plenty at these final tables. Seat 6 is Rafa. Seat 7 is Rivera. Seat 8 is T. And seat 9 is Tillman. We've got another all-in, this time Mayo, with 6-7 offsuit.
Yeah, blind on blind action here. Looked like it was limp there, and Mayo's going to take the aggressive route here and just ship it all in with the 7-eye, hoping not to be called by his opponent Lewis here in seat 1. Ace could be good enough for a call here, but he lays it down. The 7-high takes it down. So well played there by Mayo. Gets it by.
Yeah, definitely. I played a lot of hands with Lewis, shoving all in, and he sometimes calls, but a lot of times he does fold.
Yeah, it's nice to have you in the booth, Corey, here. I know you've been playing all day.
We couldn't hear Corey there, and that's why I turned him up a little bit in the third spot, the third level.
Yeah, that sounds better all around, too.
It sounds much better for us. I don't know how it sounds. We'll check with the executive producer, Dave Klaproth, to make sure we're all sounding good.
Should be hearing something in here.
And we got
anything in this.
We got 20 people in the chat, too, so if you're watching at home, just if we sound all right, give us a thumbs up. If you're not being able to hear us that well, just let us know.
And Rafa, with a great hand, a starter hand, pocket aces. Looks like he's going to raise it up. Blue chips are $25,000. Pink chips are $5,000. And we've introduced some new ones at the table. The cranberries, or the red chips, are $100,000 in denomination. So if you see the red ones go in, you know those are the bad ones. And Rafa's going to take it down with his pocket aces. He would have liked to seen somebody call him. He's going to show the cards.
Speaking of aces, that was Mr. Siegel's downfall today, I heard. Little unhappy with maybe his sizing with the aces. Got called by Joe in the King's hat. And Joe flopped top 2 on you, huh?
Yeah, I sized it about 2.5, and I should have probably done like 3x. There was actually three-way action on it, and I was on the button. And he calls with Jack 9, and unfortunately flops Jack 9-6, and lose all my chips.
That's why you're here with us, huh? So not a bad consolation prize.
Not at all. These guys are a lot of good players here. I'm looking forward to seeing the action here.
So we're going to have plenty of time that we're going to be able to talk about tournament poker. And remind me to ask you, when you mentioned 2.5 or 3, your thoughts on what you open with aces. And you don't have to answer right now. We're going to have a few hours here. But think about that. Let that stew, because I know a lot of players want to know what some of the great tournament players are thinking when they get a good hand and what they should open with. So we've got Breonna Taylor is going to call. They're going to raise to 30,000. Joe Turbo wearing gloves.
Yeah, a lot of times in a small blind, you don't want to just call. You want to either raise or fold with a small blind, and because you're always ultimately in a bad position because the big blind, if he calls, you're always in that position where you're always having to face him behind.
Corey, you spent a year on the circuit years ago, traveling the countryside, playing from tournament to tournament, so you've got a lot of tournament experience.
Yeah, I did really well actually in the Dallas tournament recently. I got 10th there too. I seem to be running this whole 10 thing lately.
779, and we've got two players with gut shot straight draws here, and not much else. Joe Turbo is in position.
Yeah, Joe's a loose aggressive player, so yeah, I expect him to bet here with a check.
Used to seeing Joe on our 5-5 cash stream, and he's decided to press his luck in the Art of Poker tournament today, and the run good is strong. So nice to see Joe run good here in the tournament.
Here comes the Reyes, putting the pressure on Joe Turbo, which is always fun. An 8 here would cause some major fireworks, I would believe.
And if you're watching the scroll on the bottom, I know it says 20K guaranteed, but this prize pool has ballooned to over 50K. So there's definitely some big money up top, and that's why we decided to stream this tournament today over our 5-5 game. So lots of juicy money up at the top 3 spots.
Yeah, and we've inserted in the dealer box upside down so you could see it from the overhead view, the payouts. So from time to time when we get an overhead view, we'll see to the left of Frank, the dealer, should be the payouts. At least that's what we have instructed. Ace on the river. Nobody hit anything. And it's just going to be see who has the guts to make the bet. So I think first one to put chips in is going to take this down. Your thoughts, Corey?
Absolutely, and I think Breon's going to push in at this point. When you get check like that, usually means your opponent has a weak hand, and you can probably take him off of it.
Joe Turbo's going to think about it a little bit. Not much to think about other than an all-in. Or he's going to fold, and Breonna Taylor's going to take it down. And we'll go to the next hand.
Yeah, these guys are been playing all day since 12 o'clock. Kind kind of a little tired here in general. These guys are toughing it out, trying to get to that first place, which I believe is like 12K up top.
Rivera is our short stack, just 2 big blinds. And right now, the blinds are 15, 30, 30. So you're putting in a bunch of, the blinds are just keep going up. Rafa will fold her 8-4. Congratulations to Rafa. She is the lone woman at the final table. We get tables, seems like all the time, with especially tournaments with the final tables. Has women represented quite well, and Rafa is the lone woman survivor.
Yeah, the stacks in general are pretty even. There was obviously, with my loss to Joe, he chipped up quite a bit for the final table. So it's been interesting to see how it plays out. And everyone's a lot of them are under 20 bigs here, 20 big blinds. So a lot of time to maneuver a little bit, but then shoving will be happening.
Got one of our colleagues in the industry, Mike Jungblood, who runs the poker show for another card house here in Austin. Appreciate all that he does. He and I go a little bit way back with we both do some announcing and some radio stuff. I just did a high school football game on the Horn. Mike, you said you were watching the game. You should have listened to me on Austin's #1 radio station.
Maybe
it was a great game.
I honestly don't watch a lot of high school athletics at all, but I live in Round Rock, and the game was on last night. It was on TV, so I tuned in for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you, though.
It was a good call. I was there. So we've got a bet of 80. These two are getting into it early. Joe, are they? Corey, are they some of the more active players?
Yeah, and Joe, raised there. Looks like with the open ender, with obviously the nut on the top side, and wanted to find out where to go with Brianna Taylor. It was also okay to just do a smooth call there and see what the turn looked like.
We want to thank our title sponsor, America's Card Room. If you do, in fact, play online, give them a chance for your action. If you play live, we hope your poker club is the Lodge Poker Club, Austin's largest poker club, 19 tables, cash games all around. Matter of fact, a Big O tournament, a Big O cash game. So we had a little...
Yeah, Lodge is busy tonight. I mean, we had the Art of Poker. We were almost at capacity with that. A lot of 1-3 games going on, 1-2 games going on, Big O. So Saturday night, Lodge place to be as per usual. And nobody's going to go home with more money than the winner of this tournament. That's why all the focus is on table 11, front and center.
Corey, you went out in 10th. What did that pay?
Paid $1,000, roughly a little under $1,000. It was nice take home.
Not a bad sandwich for a couple hours of poker.
No, one of the AirPods though that you eventually get when you win this thing,
and the nice trophy.
That's true.
Yeah, the Beats.
The Beats and
I need some new headsets, so I was hoping for that.
There's the flop from Frank, the dealer from Vegas.
What a flop there from Joe Turbo, flopping the wheel.
The wheel.
The wheel on the button, too, with $1 million in chips, so we're just living in Joe's world right now.
And Rafa might have problem getting away with this. She flopped 2 pair, and she's going to call.
Yeah, on ace-10, yeah. They both hit their ace as well.
Some great hands.
Action here. Joe's going to juice it up.
Joe Turbo flopping the wheel, puts 3 cranberries in. Those cranberries worth $100,000 each. The bet.
I think that bet's a little strong. He might scare off his opponents here, even though Rafa has 2 pair.
I don't know how Rafa's going to be able to get away from this.
Looks to be in the folding position here. Wow.
Well, there is an all-in, so he can ladder up just by folding as well, potentially. So that's another consideration he's thinking about.
Snap call there.
Wow.
And
the 2 pair folded, but the ace...
Ace-10 makes a call and in really rough shape with 1% equity. So let's see what the turn brings. We're going to need a miracle in Round Rock to survive.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jake Stein in the chat for joining us from the Houston area tonight.
Jake Stein, if you came here, we'd only be 6 away from a minion.
Kind of full in the booth here. That's correct.
It's a little side joke there, and the wheel is going to take it down. And Rivera, the lone woman, had a great day of poker, and she's going to bow out in 9th place and she was so very excited to make the final table and get on the stream. She's going to walk to the cage and collect 1,125 smackers. The Art of Poker. Look at that up top, guys. $12,299 for a 200. What was the buy? A 200? $200.
Heard one guy bought in 8 times.
Yes.
That was
8 bullets, baby.
8 bullets, baby.
The machine gun bullet player.
He needed to finish 5th to break even.
Yikes.
That's
but
always
they love
tough.
poker, and we love players like that who want to juice up the prize pool. I feel really bad because I just saw myself in the video there. I took a peek at the table before I came into the booth because we're on a half-hour delay. And Rivera was walking away from the table, and I said, oh, good luck, good job making the final table. And that was right after she got felted, and I didn't realize till this moment. So I didn't mean to needle you, I promise. Nice run, making it all the way to the final table, going home with some money, and I apologize for that, Rivera, if you watch this back later on.
Now, Lewis has a famous brother who has his picture on the wall about 18 times here at the lodge. He won at the start of what, last year or the start of this year?
Bill Cox?
Yes, Bill Cox's brother. That's his brother.
I did not know that's Bill Cox's brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Bill Cox has never been on a final table that we've streamed.
Yeah.
And his brother got the best of him.
There we go. 2019 was the year for Bill Cox.
Yes.
2020 the year for Lewis. We shall see.
I mean, my goodness, he had one heck of a run, Bill.
Yeah, definitely a feared player when you walk into the lodge and you're at his table for a tournament. You got to be on high alert because anything can happen at any moment. But we got a nice pot brewing here. I haven't seen a flop yet, and we are almost at 200K.
Yeah, Lewis with a redraw, but the flop didn't produce that option.
Both players with the same hand. 6 on the turn. There's a bet from Lewis.
Aggression will take it down.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go on to the next hand. Again, the Lodge Poker Club open 24 hours a day from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Guess what? All players get free play.
Did you catch any of that Tiger Woods golf today?
I did.
Playing with his son Charlie. We got ESPN on in the booth here, so we are multitasking in between hands. And if you're watching at home, I tuned in for about 5 to 10 minutes of that Tiger Charlie Woods action. He was swinging those clubs mighty fine for an 11-year-old.
How much pressure is it to be Tiger Woods' son on the golf course? Pick another sport, son. Play some baseball.
He was swinging them nice, hitting putts, nailing drives way longer than I can even hit. And the kid's 11 years old. So
well, there's Lewis is going all in for 210K with King 10 offsuit. And so far, it's working.
That's pretty standard with the blinds right now with any face card like that. He needs to make a move.
All right, so let's get back to your X, 2.5X open with the aces. Your thoughts on what how do you determine what to open with a big hand like that?
Well, there's a lot of factors. Your stack size, their stack size, your position. I mean, I should have opened it, I think, a little bit larger with Royal smooth calling and Joe calling. I should have pushed a little harder to hopefully get him off I wanted to go heads up, right? I didn't want to have three-way action.
Right.
Yeah, that's just a cooler. I don't think you did anything wrong there. Just an unfortunate flop for you, Corey. And especially you have a lot of history with Joe Turbo, so he likes to get the chips in, sometimes light. He just had to happen to wake up with a strong hand there, and that will do it.
Reyes in seat 5 is one heck of a player. We see him a lot.
Yeah, he's been running really good lately the past 6 weeks or so. I think he took down 2 tournaments. So you got to be have your A game when he's at the table nowadays here.
Let's talk about what's happening in February. February 25th, it all starts with day 1. We'll have 3 day 1 for the big tournament. $200,000 guarantee. I know both of you are going to be entering. You know what? I think Rick Epstein might even break the piggy bank and enter that tournament because, hey, I think the winner's going to win 50, 60 grand, and I need a new Cadillac. Mine's about 4 or 5 years old. And the structures will be really good. I've been complaining a little bit about some of the heaviness on some of the structures of the tournaments in the Texas area, and I showed Joe one that is happening actually at the WPT, which kind of rewards it a little bit more flatter, and he liked it, and I think that's going to be what they use. Wow. So Corey already being an advisor to the lodge. But, yeah, we're looking forward to it. 3 day ones. It starts February 25th. and then February 26th will be day 1B, February 27th, day 1C. And you see Joe Turbo take one down with the ladies.
Dude, he's just running hot right now. I mean, just everything. 5 deuce, pocket queens.
And then finally on Sunday, the 28th, will be day 2. It'll all finish up on Sunday. And boy, we'll have some satellites to get in. We're already started those satellites, didn't we, Mike?
Yeah, the satellites have been running on Sunday nights, and as we get closer and closer, we're going to have satellites at any point in time. Whenever we get 9 or 10 names on the list and they want to run a single table satellite, we'll get it fired up. So stay on the lookout for that. If you want to come in and press your luck, you can buy it for the full amount. And as you said, there's going to be huge money up top for that first place money.
I mean, $200,000, that's going to bring in some major players from around the country. I mean, that's not just a little tiny tournament there.
Yeah, I'm sure people will be coming in from Dallas, San Antonio, all over the state, and maybe even outside the state, because Texas is the hot spot for poker right now. You see no dividers here. Everyone has to wear their mask. They get their temperature checked here when they walk into the lodge. So we're still taking the COVID protocols very seriously here at the lodge, but poker goes on, and big money will live on forever. And we'll see who's going to take it down.
Yeah, he raised with ace-4 on the button, which is generally a standard raise to do to take the blinds away with the ace-X, and he's managed to steal the blinds there or get them at least.
So we'll go on to the next hand. Frank in the box, one of our finest dealers here at the lodge. You see him here on our streams quite often. And we've got so many dealers now from all over the country, Vegas, Boston, Maryland. They are really upped our game, and those of us who have been here for a couple years really notice that, I like to watch them. Because as a dealer, I deal one shift a week, and I like to watch some of these great dealers.
T with pocket deuces.
Again, T with pocket deuces.
Shout out to Cheryl in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Cheryl. We appreciate it.
Yes, she was excited about the stream, kept texting and saying, when are you starting?
So this position with ace-4, you either need to re-raise, do a 3-bet, or fold, because it doesn't flop very well, because if there's an ace out there, you're behind.
So he chose to fold, and it's over to Breonna Taylor with 7-8 offsuit. And he's going to decide to come on in. The water's warm. As he's in the small blind, you don't like to leave your children out there.
Yeah, getting a discount, so try and peel and see a cheap flop here in case hopefully Joe doesn't go crazy here, and he doesn't, so we're going to go 3-way to a flop.
9-10.
Look at that.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, discounted flop. Let me just flop the straight here, but not much. Joe Turbo with middle pair, tees, deuces. Don't look so good no more, but let's see how Brianna decides to play this here. I like just a flat here, especially when you're playing against
He doesn't flat.
Joe Turbo. Joe Turbo likes to put chips into the pot there, so I would have preferred a flat here. This raise is going to sound some alarm bells in Joe's mind here. Let's see if he can get away right now or decides to peel one more. He does have, he does not have a straight draw at all either, so just a 9 with the jack kicker.
I think Brianna was maybe a little scared of the club draw as well, but he also doesn't know Joe that well.
Yeah, these players don't have a lot of history. But Joe's got a lot of chips, so he might say, I got all these chips, I can afford to peel one, but he is in terrible shape. We know Joe does not like to fold, but there he goes.
Wow.
Joe pressing all the right buttons today and just sends it into the muck, so good on you, Joe. Must be the magic gloves, the surgeon, the surgical
So
fold.
you said, Mike, earlier that you thought Breonna Taylor should have smooth called.
Yeah,
Corey, what were your thoughts? Yeah, what were your thoughts, both of you?
I would have with knowing Joe, but Brianna has no history, so he might have thought that Joe might have a flush redraw and wanted to kind of find out where he was at.
I like to press my luck a little bit there, even if he is on that flush draw, I am willing to accept it and see another card there. And if a club comes, maybe that would then slow down my action, but I'd be willing to risk it there and set the trap and see if Joe fires that turn again, and then you can really make a juicy pot out of that. But to each his own there. Brianna will be satisfied with that pot, and we'll go on to the next one.
Yep, check raise on the turn would have been a good option there as well.
I feel like the dumb kid at the SATs. I'm sitting in between two all-stars here. All I've been doing is playing poker for 35 years. I haven't learned much, I guess.
Well, my paper's open here, Rick, so if you want to cheat a little bit, I won't tell nobody.
Yeah. So we'll go to the next hand. Reyes folds, and
looks like Steve Reisman's in the chat. He might be drunk again, so if you're in the chat, watch out.
Steve, the East Coast, it's a little late for you. It's 11:50. It's 10 minutes to midnight in New York.
He is a vampire, always up late and up early. The man rarely sleeps. Thanks for joining us as per usual, Steve.
Rick Epstein, along with the Skull, Mike Reisman, and a special guest star, Corey Siegel, who's been on one of these streams before, and we said, Corey, come on in and join us. Don't go home yet. You're a little tilted. You finished 10th.
Yeah. I'm a little. It's been 10. The 10 number's been around for a bit this month, so I want to get a little deeper. But I'm here joining this stream with you guys.
Oh, it's fun times.
And Tillman here has king queen suited, pushing all in. That makes perfect sense.
295 in kind of middle position.
Yeah. Lewis made a fold there.
What was that? Pocket threes? Uh-oh. Mayonnaise with pocket aces goes all in for 370. Tillman's going to have to call this. It's just an extra 75K, but it's over to Reyes first. Actually, Joe Turbo.
Well, Tillman's already shoved all in, so his tournament life is at risk, and he's going to be up against it. Satisfied with shoving with the king-queen suited, getting short. Definitely did not want to run into aces. So we're going to need to get lucky if we're in Tillman's shoes here. And let's see what the flop, turn, and river bring. Otherwise, we might have our second elimination of the night.
King, queen suited against the Bullets. Frank will give us a flop. And that flop is ace 5-5. Just flopped a boat.
Wow.
I think he's drawing dead here.
Just want to seal the deal on the flop. No sweat.
And that'll do it.
A quick death. Tillman is going to the cage, but still going home with some money. What is he going home with tonight?
Tillman, we're going to have to see. They'll post it. We'll get it by Frank. There we go. Tillman will go home with 1,407 smackers. Next in line will be 7th place, 1,787. Look at up top, 12,299. I mean, come on.
Hopefully we
That's
have no
sick.
deals. I'm one for no deals. Play to the death.
The difference between first and second is 5K.
Yes.
Well, if I think Brianna has anything to say about it, he'll play to the death. He pretty much did that before. So
yeah. Speaking of playing to the death, we're going to have our 1K, one table, winner take all, coming on Saturday, either January 2nd or January 9th. So stay tuned for that.
And that's each player putting $1,000 up.
Yeah, each player is putting up $1,000. There will be no deals allowed. So
can I count both of you in on that?
I will not be playing. I'll be in the booth here with you, Rick.
And I may be in Florida for the WPT.
But I've generated lots and lots of interest for that. So if Corey cannot play, his seat will be filled, and it will be entertaining. So if you're in the chat, please like and subscribe to the channel, and do not miss out on that one.
That's going to be, so we like to see blood on the table. That's going to be some blood. Jake Stein says he predicts Royal versus Bryson for the trophy. Yeah. Let's see.
Shout out to Royal, too, because, Royal was our defending champion when we had our last 100K. So he lives up in Waco, I believe, and he likes coming down for the big tournaments, and he has already walked out of the lodge with 50,000 plus.
And Royal is T, by the way. We're calling him T tonight. 3, 4, 10, 2 clubs. T flops a pair of threes.
Yeah, heads up. If you flop a pair, you're likely ahead. It's just the way the math works.
There's the flop. Rafa will put 100 out there. Doesn't work for me that way.
Yeah, I would smooth. Definitely just check behind. Yeah, I mean call behind here.
We'll go to the turn. A queen, and Rafa hits his queen. And he's 88% to win as long as he stays in this pot. T's going to need a king or a 3. 4 outs. T looking at the stacks.
Yeah, this bet might be a little suspicious in T's mind. His C bets the flop, and this queen comes. Like, what are you really repping? But he gets away from it there with bottom pair, and it's a good fold there by T as Rafa spikes top pair on the turn.
Yeah.
Scoops in a nice one.
So you say it's a little
suspicious.
Suspicious. Why?
Suspicious. Because you want your story to make sense on every street, right there. So when you bet the flop there and then you bet the turn and you bet pre, are you repping an overpair? Do you have kings aces type of hand? Maybe you're holding ace queen. If you flopped a set, you probably would have likely checked it. It's just a little.
The queen hits his range essentially with the pre-flop.
But if you have you bet the flop there and it was all lower cards. What was it, 10? I forget exactly what the flop cut, but it was all cards lower than a queen. So if maybe you have a pair on the flop, why would you be betting that queen? It's just you just got to connect the dots there. That's why it might have been a little suspicious. But 3 is not strong enough to continue anyways, and you're able to get away if you're in T's position.
On to the next hand. Good explanation. That's why we're paying you the big bucks. All in. Reyes, who's been kind of silent tonight, will go all in.
Yeah, at this point he's really short, and these are just 2 connectors and later position, and hopefully he gets it through.
It's over to Lewis in seat 1, and it does get through.
That's a huge hand there for Reyes. Just 9 high, 9-8 off, not very strong at all. Hoping he shoves and everybody folds, and he get exactly what the doctor ordered there, and scoops up those blinds and antes, which is very, very important here at the final table.
Yeah, and he's been a little bit, he hasn't been active, so that gives him a little more of a tighter, stronger image when he does that.
Absolutely.
Rick Epstein along with Mike the Skull Reisman and Corey Siegel here on Poker Night at the Lodge. We pre-recorded 2 episodes earlier tonight, so those will be coming out next week, kind of a Christmas present to our viewers. We'll release those throughout the week, and then we're doing this live stream. We hope everybody will have a Merry Christmas, and if you celebrated Hanukkah last week, Happy Hanukkah. I always laugh, because I celebrate Hanukkah, and people think it's the Jewish Christmas, and I tell them it's the least important Jewish holiday we have. It like ranks dead last in importance, but they think it's because it's around Christmas time.
But it lasts eight
nights. Crazy nights, as Adam Sandler would say.
So Mayo made a great fold there. A6. That's something to push with, but not to call down with. You're just asking to be either dominated or flip at best. But with a 6 kicker, probably even less than that.
So the Lodge Poker Club will be closed on New Year's Eve. We'll close at 4 p.m. and reopen on Christmas Day at 4 p.m. So we'll give 24 hours for all the Lodge employees to go and spend some time with their family. So if you plan on playing on Christmas Eve, do it in the morning. And don't wait.
Free play as well from 6 to 11 every day. So if you are an early riser and you have nothing to do, come on down to the Lodge and get a couple free hours in. But we have an all-in brewing here, so let's see what transpires. Pushing on the button. King Jack suited, definitely strong enough, and he will take it down.
Let's get some antes and
again, if you're tuning into the chat here and you are a normal and consistent viewer, remember to tune in next Saturday. We're going to have a 5-5 cash game, some new players with a mix of some old players. So that should be exciting. I know we've gained some momentum the past couple of weeks having the 5-5 stream, and the action has been strong, and it's been we've been gaining some more and more interest. So tune in for that next Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Time, as we come across 11 o'clock tonight. Coming at you live from Round Rock, right off I-35.
Yep.
Art of Poker back in action, full swing. Who will be the December champion?
Winner gets a beautiful trophy and some Beats headphones and a ton of cash.
Looks like Rafa has a fan in the chat. Cristobal rooting for Rafa.
All in Reyes, who's done this now 2 times in the last 3 hands. Let's see if it can pay off. He's all in for his remaining chips.
Yeah, he was early under the gun, +1 looks like under the gun, and with ace-3, it's a good time to shove. Hope no one wakes up with a bigger ace or a pocket pair because they're going to call him down.
Brianna counting out the chips. Got some red ones up top, maybe trying to ISO and go with a little bit of a raise, and that's exactly what happens. So Reyes' tournament life going to be at stake, and he's going to be dominated.
Is it ace-king?
Ace-queen, I believe, or ace-king? Ace-king
versus ace-3.
Versus ace-3, so we'll...
Trouble in Reyes land here. We're going to need to get lucky, but this man runs good, and he has been running good for 6 weeks consecutively. So spades or a 3 is what we're going to be looking for if we're in the 5 seat. And as Frank comes with the flop, let's see if it happens.
Some low cards even.
He's got the nut low right now.
We're not playing Big O tonight. Maybe running spades. That will not happen. So it's going to be a 3 and a 3 only.
Oh, my
God. Hello, Reyes. Just as we were saying, this man runs good.
Goodness.
He cannot be eliminated. This man is unbreakable. This man just either wins the tournaments or goes heads up. And even when you are crushed, he somehow survives. Unbelievable.
3 outer.
Where's he keep that horseshoe at?
Yeah, my goodness. And that, so often when you've won a big tournament, Corey, or finished pretty good, you can always probably point to one hand during the day where you say maybe that was the momentum that I needed to kick me into the next level. Do you find that to be true?
At least one, sometimes 2 or 3. I mean, one to continue to go. It's kind of like when you get a hand and you get momentum, and then you get to the next phase and you need another good hand, unless you're just running like God, and that usually isn't the case.
And God is in seat 5 right now, so
wow.
Welcome God to the stream.
Hit the
huge
3 ball.
Double up there. That is every time you get a double up, and as he was shoving in for the last consecutive hands as well, stealing those blinds and antes with weaker hands, gets the ace, correct shove, and gets somehow rewarded and lucky on the river with that 3, and now has a decent stack, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with here as we continue on.
Yeah, it's 100K or in blinds alone that you're picking up every time you win a pot, plus whatever else.
Yeah. Each
so when the chip leader has 1.1 million, I mean, it's not that many bigs for anyone on this table.
Mayo goes all in and is going to take it down. Mayo or Mayo? I'm going to call him Mayo until I'm corrected.
I like Mayo.
Mayo is more like Cinco de Mayo. But
way to work.
Yeah, so the largest chip stack literally has 12 bigs on this table right now. It was
Keep it
50,
together,
100.
Corey. Keep it together in the booth here.
you gotta be prepared for anything. Mike and I, comments come out of any orifice. So
There you
be
go.
prepared. We'll go on to the next one.
Jake Stein with the filthy comment in the chat. Absolutely. Super filthy.
Do you want some mayo with that?
Yeah, Jake was good in the commentary when he was in the booth with us.
Jake is also in the Houston area, and he has bagged the stack in a 30K guaranteed tournament, and that prize pool is probably going to be over 50K, so his run good continues as well.
Man.
Joe Turbo with a suited ace on the button, he's going to be raising, and that's exactly what he does.
And here's Reyes, the man who caught lightning in a bottle with the 3-outer, will fold. And we'll go on to the next hand.
Jake Stein says if Brianna was playing online poker, that laptop would be smashed, and this seems like a perfect time to give a shout-out to America's Card Room.
Yes.
So there you go. If you like playing online, as Rick says, give them a shot.
Yeah.
And if you like playing live, we got cash games going all night, open 24/7, except for those Christmas hours where we'll be off for a little bit. But there's always action going on here at the Lodge. 1-2 tables galore, 1-3, 2-5, 5-5. We got a Big O game.
Yeah, the Big O game right behind this table. It's always fun, the Big O. That's a game I grew up on. I called it Big Mitt. Some people call it Congress. 5-card, Omaha High-Low, whatever you want to call it. It's a fun drawing game. You definitely don't want to flop the nuts in Big O. That's almost a guaranteed loser unless it's a royal flush or a straight flush.
Yeah, Big O is not one for Corey and I. We prefer 2 cards. Sometimes we'll spice it up with 4. But if we add a 5th, I don't know, all hell breaks loose. And Joe Turbo, all hell could break loose at any moment. Look at the watch over the gloves. That could be a new style, a new trend.
He needs some golden gloves, man, kind of like Michael Jackson. He's
Yeah.
got some fancy gloves to wear.
Joe Turbo.
Joe Turbo.
There's 2 pain cards, going to juice it up here.
Raised to 115.
Let's see what T comes with. He's in the big blind, getting a discount. He will not be pushed around in the big blind, and he will defend.
9 King 7.
Little something for everybody on this flop. Joe Turbo will be c-betting this.
Blue chips 25. Cranberry or red are 100,000.
He'll probably call.
T doesn't love it. Chip's a little bit more important when you're the shorter stack here. Put to the test here, but 9. Let's see what T does. Joe, raising pre, king's definitely in his range, but also air could be in his range, or diamonds, middle pair, but he
Lays
gets
it
away
down.
from, so a good lay down from T.
T is showing his chops there when he knows he's behind. He's letting it go. Want to thank our executive producer tonight, Dave Klaproth, and Jermaine in again, helping out and learning each and every time at it. He's getting better and better. Also want to thank the Lodge ownership for making this all happen. It is through there.
Yeah, T probably has one more orbit, and he needs to just shove, push, and steal some blinds here. When you're this short, you really just need to pick up at least the blinds one time every round.
Which position are we talking about? T?
T, yeah, he has like 400K, I think.
I think he's got a little more than that.
Yeah, it showed 800,000.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, in the turn, but yeah.
He's still I know, he's still got some beats here.
Let's see.
Reyes will fold.
Reyes, look
over
at
to
that
Rafa.
stack all of a sudden.
So T has about 790 it's showing.
Okay.
Because he's got a couple red chips there.
Red ones there. Hot tamales.
790, and you're losing 150 a round.
Yeah.
So, if you want some fold equity, you need to make sure you do it earlier.
Ace 6-8, 2 hearts, and an 8 for Lewis. Pair of 8s and Lewis behind in position will.
Oh, you
just
checked,
check.
huh? Wow.
Yeah, I would have liked to bet there from Lewis.
Now he's going
Let's
to do
see
it.
if T will spice it up a little bit. Does not check, bet, fold, and we're going to be on to the next.
He looks like he's getting a little frustrated. Cards aren't coming his way.
Yeah, but heads up, if you hit middle pair, you're doing pretty good usually.
And our screen went black for a minute.
Just give us a second here. We are in the dark at the moment.
There we
now
go.
we are back. So I see in the chat as well the screen went black, so just hang in there. It will pop back up in a second on the YouTube channel.
Brianna Taylor.
Just kind of hang in there, that black
There we
screen.
go.
There we go. We're going to be back in business here.
Joe got some raising cards with his stack for sure.
The sailboats, pocket 4s.
Put some pressure on. Yep.
110,000 is the bet now. Get a couple folds there, and here comes T. T is going to call. T with the Queen 8 suited, and over to Lewis with Ace 3 suited in the.
What do you think about that
Small
call,
blind.
Corey, and with the Queen 8?
Yeah, for another, he's in the big blind.
On the button.
He's on the button.
Yeah.
So it did not have anything invested in this pot.
Yeah, that's a little light.
8-8-9. He knew it was coming. Flop trips.
God.
That being said, hey, if you hit, you hit, right?
Wow, and those are very under-repped here, very disguised. And no slow playing at all. I don't like this rip at all.
No, at all. You got to make the most of your equity with what's going on here.
This is a massive overbet, and what are you getting called with? Like, nothing.
Pocket 9s.
Yeah, like, you're only getting called, and you're completely, like, nobody can call.
Pocket nines are an overpair. That's about it.
Yeah, even overpair is in a tough spot in this situation.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Turbo just gave a bunch of chips
God,
away.
Joe Turbo. Oh, my goodness.
Or if you're Joe Turbo sometimes.
Oh, my God. Forget everything I just said.
One out. A 4 of spades is the
No
only
reason.
out.
No reason for Joe Turbo to make this call here. Doesn't give. But although that line by T very suspicious, you can't put him on an 8 here at all.
Dead to 1 out. The
My
4 of
God.
spades.
Yeah, I think Joe was thinking that his 4s were like, out, the 8s are not there, so therefore he has second best pair other than
Probably
9.
putting him on diamonds or, like
Over
a
cards.
Jack 10 type of hand, so a drawing hand, and believed in his 4s. I don't fault him, but still, ICM implications here. You're at the final table, and these pay jumps are huge. You can wait and pick a better spot there by just hoping that your 4s are good.
Yeah, I agree. I think a fold there would have been appropriate.
And to give such a good player the ammunition, who was reeling, really, he looked a little frustrated, and maybe that's another reason why Joe Turbo called, is he saw a little frustration and maybe a little tilt going on.
Possibly. It's going to be interesting to see how Joe Turbo responds after that, because the stack definitely takes a hit, and we shall see.
That's a huge hit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it.
So that's going to be tough to battle back from here. Let's see if you can keep your mind sharp and just forget about that hand. You got to block that out. and move forward to the next. He's under the
Let's
gun
see if
here.
he
still
folds
laughing.
here.
Joe Turbo will put his cards over the
He's
sensor.
on tilt. Is he gonna
I think he's
fold?
still a little shook. Doesn't he really even know it's on him, and he's flustered. He's flustered a
He's
little bit.
smooth calling with King 7 under the gun.
That's
not.
not advised either. And yeah, you should probably be folding there. And if you're going to enter the pot, I would be raising and not limping.
Absolutely.
Maybe trying to balance out that limp range. Maybe he picks up, aces or kings later on. He might do the same thing, but still, especially after you just take a massive hit to your stack there, it's sometimes good to kind of fold and just kind of reassess and get your gathering, your mind right again here. And now you just open yourself up to a squeeze play from Brianna, and this is going to get through. It's not going to get called by anybody unless Joe Turbo is insanely tilted here, and he's reaching for chips. No, don't do it, Joe. Don't do it, Joe.
Don't do it, Joe. Calm down.
Come on, use the watch.
Go outside. Walk it off.
Take a second. Take a second, Joe. Take a second, Joe. Breathe, Joe. Breathe, Joe. Put the glasses up. Send them into the muck.
He's saying, I just lost a bunch of chips. Maybe I can get them back right now. Shut the door. Here, I'll hold you. And Rihanna Taylor will take that one down.
Okay, so we are gonna have the door open here in the booth. No, Ricky wants the door open. Yeah, so the door is gonna be open.
Okay. To cool things off, I guess.
Yeah, getting a little hot and steamy here in the booth, so we are gonna keep it open. Hopefully, the noise from the room doesn't get too loud. So if it gets if our audio goes a little off here, just let us know in the chat. But I think we're gonna rock with it right now.
Reyes with the Queen Jack is going to raise it up to 150. Throws a red and two blues. Here comes T, who's got all these newfound chips. And back over to Joe Turbo, who's still reeling. So after a hand like that, you suggest taking a deep breath.
Yeah, he's calling off a lot of chips here with marginal hands.
Ace-6 Jack. T flops top pair. Reyes flops mid pair. Joe Turbo whiffs, and here's a continuation bet.
Joe Turbo needs a hand for the soul.
175,000 by Reyes. If you're T here, you flop top pair.
Pot at a half.
Yeah, I
milli.
would literally just smooth call at this point. I mean, and then because he has a weak kicker, and you want your opponent to bluff off chips if they don't have an ace.
So he'll make the call.
Yep, I like the call as well here. Let's see what the turn brings.
Queen. So Reyes now with two pair. Mr. Luck City.
Brutal turn there for T, but he's been able to get away from all these spots here, and now it's going to be very pricey if you want to call this off with aces. I like the shove here with Reyes. If you're wanting to take this down right now.
Do you like the shove?
Yeah, I don't mind the shove there. You're telling a story there, and you don't want your opponent to draw out there. It's a pretty wet board. I'm happy with taking that pot down right then and there, so I do like the shove, and it gets through. Good on T for getting away again. We've seen a lot of players call off hands a lot weaker than T there, but T's been able to make the correct lay down a couple times now at the final table.
Sniff it out.
Yeah, it's good on him.
Really good.
As we take a look at our payouts here, see some big money up top. Next player out will get $17.87.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
They'll be able to go and buy some Christmas gifts with some of this money they're collecting tonight.
Yep. And buy into the next one in February as well.
Rafa with the ace-jack. We haven't seen too much of Rafa tonight. He's got 515,000. It's basically, 12, 15 big blinds. And it looks like Rafa raises to 150 over to Brianna Taylor. He'll fold. Joe Turbo does. And Reyes does the old glance at what you have over there. He's going to make the call. Both these players have the same exact hand. Reyes on kind of a free roll with clubs.
Surprised Reyes didn't make that a little bit more expensive or possibly even jam, applying max heat to Rafa.
He's going to do
Playing
that.
it slow, going to bet this one out now. Now if you're in Rafa's seat, do you really want to call this off with ace high?
Be half of his chips if he makes the call.
Pretty tough spot, gross spot. But if you make this call now, you're pretty much committing your whole stack.
Yeah, if you're calling off more than a third of your stack,
I don't really like calling at all. I like either shoving or folding here. Just
He does.
Yeah.
He raises to 300.
So very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Proper play.
Unless it's not. You know, it's always 50-50. It either happens or it
Well,
doesn't.
I definitely did not want to see a call there. So either raise or fold.
Right.
And raising was a nice play there. Didn't give Reyes, credit for a strong hand. Actually had the same hand. And that was not a good board for ace-jack there. So a good play there, takes it down.
Ooh, T.
Seeing some good poker here at the final table.
Jiggities for T. And he's going to raise it up somehow. No, he's going to smooth call and see who else comes along. Lewis with the deuce-5 suited will fold. Mayo will fold his king-10.
I would have liked at least a thumb raise there.
He's going to wait till Turbo Joe raises it up with his sailboats.
But you want to build the pot up when you have a good hand, so when the flop hits, you can extract. You want to win big pots.
Right.
So getting more money in early on is a good thing.
He's going to. So do you think that with this raise by Joe Turbo that T's going to come back over the top here?
What's the stack at right now?
1.3
We got
million.
Aaron in the chat too, looking at the stack sizes. So the stack sizes might be a little off as well.
So
A couple of people's stacks look to be a little off. Joe Turbo definitely has more than 230 behind.
357, and Turbo just has a straight flush gutter. He's got 4 diamonds.
He actually made a good check there. When you have flush diamonds like that, you're really in a bad position to just go out and bet. Better off just
Check, check.
calling.
Here comes the turn, 7. So now both players with 2 pair. Both players probably think they're good, don't you think?
Yeah, so Joe's got about 1.2, almost 1.3 behind. So it's only showing that he has 230 behind. So we got to keep that into consideration. Bets 200K, does not have 30K behind, and it's way more than that.
So here comes the river. River is a 7, so both players hit their
Oh,
boat.
Jack's like to see that for sure. This is definitely good news for him.
Both players with a boat.
Joe bets. Yeah, I expect a raise here from T.
Makes it 225. T.
Maximum equity with the raise.
T's just going to call it.
Man.
And Joe's going to flop over his 4s, and T's going to win with his jacks. His boat is bigger than T's boat. He's going to take down this. You thought he should have gone all in.
Yeah, I would not just all in, but at least a raise. You put Joe on a pocket pair or a pair of 5s and you could definitely do a raise. If he has a 7, he has a 7, but you need to get chip up here for getting deep.
Once again, chip valuations. We've got 3 chip valuations. Pinks, 5,000. Blues are 25,000, and if you see a red one, or we call them cranberries, they'll be 100,000 in value. And that's where we are. We're here in the live stream. The Saturday big one here in December.
Art of poker, baby.
251 entries. Over 50,000 in the prize pool. I'm sorry, did I say the big one? The Art of Poker.
That'll
I'm
be
sorry.
coming up down the road.
Pocket
This
pair
is
for
art.
Mayo. Yep.
Mayo. Hold the Mayo. He's got pocket 9s. The Wayne Gretzky's. Joe Turbo folds. And so does Reyes. The
Get
blinds. Will T. What does T have? We don't know. And he'll fold it. He had 5-7.
Did I see pocket 10s fold there? I think I did.
I didn't see that. Rick Epstein along with Mike the Skull Reisman and Corey Siegel. Tonight's commentary on the live stream going on right now at the Poker Night at the Lodge here at the Lodge Poker Club in Round Rock, Texas, off of exit 251, right off I-35, Austin's largest poker room. Having lots of fun tonight. Thank you for joining us. Lewis in the big blind. Mayo is under the gun. Mayo is looking at his phone. Clock. Hit him on the head. Somebody.
My goodness.
Stop texting.
My goodness. Let's play, boys. And usually if you're tuning in, usually our tournament poker is about an hour edited show. But tonight, we are no editing allowed. We are playing it out live, on the fly, and we will see every hand until we have crowned a winner.
Reyes looks down at ace-10 offsuit and will make the call. Over to Rafa. I don't know if he knows it's on him. Maybe he does. He's going to fold on the button.
I would like to have seen a 3-bet with Reyes. To be, I mean, with ace-10, you got to find out where you're at with that ace.
Nope, yep, I agree. Electing to play it slow. Has the benefit of position now in the cutoff, so that might help him out.
8-9 deuce, an open-ended straight draw for Joe Turba. That's all he needs. And Lewis flops top pair.
Let's see.
He goes all
how
in.
Frisky Joe Turbo wants to get.
You know he's calling. Come on.
I mean, 240. What has he got? He's got a little over 700K behind.
Yeah, I mean he's got $1 million in pinks.
No, those are 100,000. So
I'm sorry, he's got
his stack size is about 700K, but he makes the call. No gamble, no glory.
You knew he was calling. Come on.
Yeah,
Open-ended straight draw.
Pretty sure. I was pretty certain he was calling. But still behind. Going to need to get lucky. That 10 is live as well. So definitely has some outs here. Ace is not going to help him. It does not have any spades.
Redraw for the spades on the 7, though.
Yep.
There's a queen. Does not help him. And the nines.
Nines will hold. So Joe Turbo continues to be getting slammed here at the final table.
A little bleeding with
We got a bleeder! A bleeder!
It's tough when you see your chips going down and you start wanting them back quickly.
Especially when you come to the final table with so many chips and a lot of high hopes. But still, you got to be able to bounce back. Anything can happen here in tournament poker. Things can change fast. It's how you adjust to these situations usually determines who becomes our big winner. So let's hope Joe Turbo can get back with it and still climb that mountain to first place money.
he has some chips. He can double up and be right back in.
That's true.
Where would you rank, Corey, where would you rank patience in the priority of a good tournament poker player?
Patience, really picking your spots is kind of the key thing, based on your stack size and knowing your players. But patience is very important, very much up there.
I think that's why I prefer cash over tournament. You know you're playing all day long. You've got to be really patient. Pick your spots, and not go on a little tilt there and wanting your chips back too soon.
Stay mentally focused and just make sure you put your chips in at the right time.
Mayo with the aces again.
Ooh.
Didn't he have them earlier, Mike? I think Mayo did.
Yeah. He's not on his phone this time. He's ready to play. In the big blind on blind action. Unfortunate for him, Lewis does not have much of anything.
So, again, this is one of the things is if you're in a small blind, it's a good idea, especially with the stack size, either raise or fold. Smith calling tends to... What do you do when the big blind raises?
I don't know. I don't mind limping there in the small blind on blind action. I don't know how many times these guys have gone blind on blind, so you might be feeling each other out right now. You can still see it at a discount.
That's true.
Especially more lately in tournament poker on the professional level as well. A lot of people have been limping that small blind to see cheap flops. It'd be interesting to see there what Mayo would have done with a lesser holding besides obviously you're going to be raising aces there. Would have also been interesting to see if you set the trap there with aces in position, knowing that your opponent might not have a strong hand in the small blind and could be folding very wide. That's exactly what happened. So it could have gone a number of different ways there in both positions, but unfortunately for Mayo, doesn't get the action he needs with his aces.
We'll go on to the next hand. Joe Turbo looks down at a very attractive King-Jack suited under the gun. As
This is going to be a trouble hand. King-Jack is a reverse plied odds, so
early
it'll be
position too,
Yeah.
but you know Joe Turbo is going to be going with it. This could be the end of the road depending on what his opponents pick up behind. But Joe Turbo trying to bounce back.
Let's see what someone comes up with. T's looking at something.
He wants us to see.
If he puts it over the scanner enough times, maybe they'll turn into aces. Lewis folds his 9-4 suited back to Mayo in the small blind. He'll fold. Breonna Taylor will look down at Queen 6 offsuit. Pretty ugly hand, and he'll fold. All right, so tell us, Corey, you mentioned a term there, reverse implied with the King-Jack. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, just, when you have King-Jack or Queen-10, when you're facing someone with a raise, they have an Ace-Jack or a better kicker with the king. So when you flop, let's say a Jack-King, someone could have a Jack-Ace. And so you can lose a lot of chips because you're automatically your kicker problem there. Or if you hit a king, someone could have King-Queen or King-Ace, and again, you have kicker problems. So it can cost you a lot of chips, so you end up losing big pots or you win small ones with like King-Jack.
Very good explanation.
Yeah, those are tricky hands for sure.
It was suited,
Yes.
as some people say.
It was suited. When is the first time, Corey? You've been playing quite some time. When were you on tour? About 10 years ago?
2010, yeah. That's kind of when I took off from my career to take a break and do a little poker for a year.
So 2010, and I've been playing since the 80s on and off. When is the first time you heard the word range describing an opening range of poker? I mean, that's a relatively new term, as we see 10-6-5.
Yeah, but range has been around for a while.
The term, though, I mean, the talk, and it seems like it's so prevalent now.
Well, once the books came out, whether it's Jonathan Little or once books came out, it became a common terminology. So what we got here on the flop POC here?
10-6-5, and then we've got a 9 of diamonds on the turn. So
Lewis pulls ahead on the turn with the 9. Diamond draw also for Brianna. And straight draw, so a lot of equity.
There's the diamonds. Oh, my goodness. Queen 7 suited.
I don't see Lewis paying this off after Brianna bets, though. Let's see what sizing Brianna comes with.
It looks like half pot.
I think it's a little high for Lewis's liking. That's a quick fold into the muck.
And Breonna Taylor will take that one down, and he'll get the chips and the button. As Joe Turbo will be the small blind, and Reyes will be the big blind. And we'll go on to the next hand.
Breonna Taylor wasn't the one with the German Shepherd dog, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh. I don't see the
Where's
dog.
the dog?
There's the dog at the fountain. That was a lovely, beautiful
I think the
dog.
dog's on table 7 playing 1-2.
Someone may have asked. Someone else.
Woof, King 9 Woof, right?
K9 Wolf.
King 9 Woof.
That's actually his favorite hand, that service dog.
I think that dog doubled up with King 9.
You're right. That's a good question. Where the hell is that dog?
Yeah,
It's probably being taken care of by somebody while he's playing
Can we get
this.
a dog check, table 11, please? I hope his dog, maybe dog might need a walk. It's been in the poker room all day, 8-9 hours. Maybe the dog might need to go potty or something. Who
Dogs
knows?
like to play poker, so you see dogs playing poker
it's
in
like
every.
That famous photo.
Yeah. Where is that
Where
dog?
is that dog?
Table 2. He just went all in. Reyes
that
will
dog
fold.
doesn't get near bingo. My goodness, you don't want to be by bingo if you're a nice little German Shepherd dog.
No, man, the shocking noise will definitely.
Here's the flop. 6-9-8.
A set for Lewis.
Lewis is
Top
going to
set.
put all his
Nah.
chips in here.
Let's see how Lewis plays this. You want to get max equity here when you flop such a strong hand at the final table. You don't want to waste this opportunity, especially when you're short stacked.
He's loving the fact that Rafa just put 120 25.
T in a tough spot in between. He's going to get away. Yep, say goodbye, rub him on the sensor, send him into the muck. Bye-bye. And I like a smooth call here, Lewis. I know you might be scared of a straight possibilities here, but just make the smooth call. You're in position. Let your opponent hang themselves, asking for a count. I don't love it. It looks like he's going to be shoving, and that's what he does. I don't love it. You're going to scare off that opponent with middle pair, and I don't see what's the price here. How much did Rafa, about 380 to call? It's going to be too much for Rafa to call, and would have much preferred just a smooth call.
I prefer that maybe on the turn if once the bet comes in and his stack is short enough to where he has to shove. But
Rafa hasn't thrown into the muck just yet, but when you raise the cards that high, usually the next thing that happens is they go straight into the muck. So a missed opportunity there for Lewis. And again, when you're at the final table, you don't want to be saying that very often. You want to maximize your opportunity. You do not want to waste them. Every chip matters. You need to win every single chip in order to be first place at the end of the day. And that was a missed opportunity.
7th place pays $17.87. First place pays $12,299. Second place $75.99. Third place $54.90, and so on.
20K guaranteed prize pool. We smashed it, more than doubled it. Prize pool over 50K. So a massive turnout here at the Lodge on Saturday, and that's what we'd love to see.
yeah, that was a way over bet. He should have sized it better, and that way on the turn of the river he could get all in, and he would be called that way. That was just way too big.
Yep.
T with 710 comes on in. 710 suited. Breonna Taylor looks down at the King Jack. Looks like he's coming aboard with a raise.
I like a raise in the button with that. No, he folds, looks like.
Raise to 150.
Got it. Yeah.
And Reyes will come in with ace-4 suited. So if hearts come, which...
but Rafa woke up with the
jams
JJs.
Jacks, and we got a quick fall behind by T. It's going to be interesting to see what Breonna does. I don't think Breonna can make the call. I don't know what the sizing is with the all-in. About 750K.
It's 100K to call us at, well...
I think it's more. I think Rafa jammed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, that's
a lot more.
about 700K, at least 800K.
Yeah.
And that's going to take it down.
On to the next hand. This tournament, what did it start at noon today, Corey?
12:15.
12:15. $200 buy-in. We had players buying a lot of bullets today to get that prize pool up over 50K, 251.
And when you see 50K,
entries.
you're like, what's $200 to shoot at 50K, right?
Yeah, but if you do that 27 times. Ace King offsuit for Lewis. Here's another hand for him. Again, he's under the gun. He's going to have to raise here, I would think.
He's just ripping it, so I don't like this rip either.
It goes all in for 1.1 mil.
That's a little over, yeah.
A little overkill here. Nothing's really going to
Nothing to call them but aces or kings.
Yeah, anything that calls
maybe
you,
queens.
Anything that calls you, you're behind. I don't even see an ace-queen making this call unless you're like super short. Maybe you'll be flipping against something.
No, there's kings,
so now
right?
Yeah, you could have possibly gotten away.
Exactly.
And
so
now you are in big trouble.
So now
another little misstep here by Lewis, and he's going to need to get lucky here. He's not going to be happy and thrilled when he sees his other kings on the other end of the table. Do we have an ace left in the deck? That is what Lewis is thinking. Frank, please help our boy in seat 1.
need some Kennedy action here.
Let's see what it brings. Those Kennedy brothers attract bullets.
Still too soon. 10, 3, 4, no help. 2 clubs, and the only club is in the king's hand. There's an 8. Down to an ace, 2 outs. An ace of diamonds or ace of clubs is available. And no help. The jack comes on the river. And Lewis, kind of an unforced error there. He had 1 million in chips. He had plenty of chips there.
A ton. Making a nice size bet, early position, usually 2.5, 3, because you're early. You add another half a blind, additional early position bet, and then if someone comes over the top, you have a chance to get away from it at least.
Yeah.
Are you gonna risk your
I
whole
don't-
tournament? Pre-flop.
You make
for bait?
such a good point. You both make such a good point. The only people who are calling you are aces or kings, pretty much. Maybe jacks or queens, but still you're in a flip. So many people overplay ace king. I see it all the time.
How many big blinds did Lewis have there for that shove?
He had 1.1 million.
So at least it's still 25-50, right?
Yeah, so at least 20 big blinds.
Yeah, I mean, if he was under 10 or less, I can obviously shove with ace king. Makes sense.
22 bigs, under
That's
the gun.
plenty.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. It's really not that crazy.
I'm not saying he's crazy. I'm just saying, ace king. I don't know, man.
I've shoved ace king with 22 bigs too before.
And how did it turn out? You won the
Sometimes
tournament.
good, yeah. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah, and I mean, if there were a lot of limpers, absolutely, but there wasn't in this case.
He was under the gun
Yeah, exactly.
with so many people behind him. I don't know. We don't want to kick a guy who just had a great tournament, finished 7th place.
Absolutely. He did better than I did, so
and
what can I say?
Walked away, and more importantly for him, he finished ahead of his brother, Bill.
Yeah, probably one that lasts longer, but it still goes home with a nice little payday. So good for you, Lewis. Thanks for
Absolutely.
playing.
Still want to get the official idea about ace king and the importance of it in tournament poker and the strength of it. I know it's a strong hand, but
Well, early position, your opponent has to say he's early position. So when you raise early position, you usually have a strong hand, right?
right.
So if someone comes over the top on that, that means a lot
Yeah.
versus calling.
T will fold over to Mayo now. Joe Turbo, who is looking down at his phone there, makes the raise.
Looks like he has maybe 500K total.
And Mayo with ace jack will make the call. Joe Turbo with pocket sixes, and here's the flop. Ooh, 6-5-3.
Oh my God.
Joe Turbo's back on his.
Don't overplay this, Joe boy. Let's see what Mayo does. Just ace high. Mayo's checking. The action is going to be on Joe Turbo. I like to see a check behind here.
Oh, he didn't set
All
the trap.
in.
Oh, yeah. Just
The rip. What are you getting called by here with? Nothing.
maybe he club overs and clubs like ace jack of clubs, ace
Doesn't
king
really-
clubs.
I don't see Mayo
That's
doing
about
that,
it.
especially with the short stack.
So this is like the 4th time we've seen a severe overbet.
This is where you have this great equity with these hands. You gotta make the most out of them, and it's okay to take chances. Maybe the guy has a club draw. It doesn't matter. Let him bet into you and earn those chips. If you want to make the final 2, you gotta get those chips
You're
for
not
those
going to
premium
flop
hands.
top set very often, especially at the final table. And when you do, you need to slow down a little bit and think about how you're going to maximize this opportunity and get the most chips possible. Is overbetting this flop all in going to do it for you? Is that the correct answer? More times than not, the answer is no there.
Yeah,
so.
and as Jonathan Little says, the best way a lot of the chips are earned.
Jonathan Little, that's your boy. You love Jonathan.
I do. I like him a lot. He has a lot of wisdom.
Say?
You want you make a lot of chips by them bluffing off their chips.
100%. Jonathan Little knows what he's talking about. That's why he's made millions and millions of dollars.
How many
playing the
bracelets
game
does he
of
have?
poker. He's got a few.
Does he?
Yeah. I believe so. And he teaches plenty of courses.
Yeah, he has a whole line.
Yeah, he's at his peak right now. He's
Yeah.
all over Poker Go, well known across the poker world. And he's been running good, and he knows what he's doing late in tournament poker. And that's good for him.
I've got a book out, How to Make $1 Million in Vegas. Bring $2 million.
How to walk away with $1 million? You mean?
How to walk away with $1 million
Bring
in
$2
Vegas?
million.
Bring $2 million. That's you. I missed that joke. It's all about delivery, Corey, and it's over. Oh, T folds ahead of his position, and
Penalty.
penalty put him in the box. Mayo will fold, as does Breonna Taylor. Back over to Joe Turbo. Joe Turbo just does not like to miss out on any action. He goes all in. Don't know quite what he has. We'll have to guess here.
We should take a booth poll on what he has.
I don't know if we're ever going to find out. Doesn't look to be getting a caller.
Looks like he'll
Asking for a
fold it.
count.
So that queens there? Ace king.
There's the old ace king.
Yeah, I think I had queen jack or something. Because he wouldn't have folded the queens.
No, especially with that chip stack.
Late at night. It's 20 minutes till midnight, and we
I'm not
still have
tired
7
yet.
people.
Who's tired? You tired, Rick?
No, I feel like this is kind of like the old days with the Jerry Lewis telethon, where they're up 24 hours a day broadcasting, and we'll be here till it ends.
Do we have a donation line, or
we should
put out our Venmo?
roll that tote.
What the hell am I doing here? Tournaments are pretty draining in general.
Well, you've been at it all day, so feel free,
Shit,
Corey.
shut
We'd
up,
love to
Corey.
have you, but if you get a little tired, don't worry about sticking around. But we'd love to have you for as long as because you're offering some great insight. You are both a cash tournament player, which is kind of rare. It's not, a lot of players specialize in one or the other. You tend to like both.
Yeah, I do. I like a lot of the bigger tournaments from a time investment perspective. Plus, also, you get away from some of the craziness with free rolls.
Oh, yeah. A lot of players come in here for our free rolls here at the Lodge. Tuesday night mania. If you've never experienced Tuesday night free roll here at the Lodge, you need to come. It is a world of fun.
It's hard not to do the Tuesday night, too, because it's like 100 players, and it's like some good money for a single day event. It's turbo.
There have been people that have just paid the door fee and won the tournament without paying any more.
Yep.
And usually it's a $4,000, $5,000 first place. There's a queen on the turn. Don't know what T has, but we do know that Joe Turbo has a pair. And there's an ace on the river. Joe Turbo can't like this with 3 overs.
Yeah, if T bets out here, I don't know how Joe can call.
Joe makes the bet.
Makes the aggression.
There we go.
Joe back to his winning
A little bit of
ways.
a dangerous line there again with just sevens, but gets it through.
His chip stack has gone up and down like Bitcoin.
That's all you, Corey. Take it from
Corey.
me.
Oh, yeah, but Bitcoin over the last 10 years has gone one direction.
That's crazy.
Yes, in between it's done its up and downs.
It's been crazy the last month and a half.
Yeah, I recommend people get some Bitcoin. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have been for a long time.
Jeez. So we'll go on to the next hand.
And you took my advice, Rick. You got some Bitcoin.
I did. I've got
You've like 2.5x your money in like the last 2 months.
Yeah, it's been fun to see that. Now I haven't experienced when it's gone down as much as it has sometimes, but it's up.
T with ace queen, just smooth calling.
Joe Turbo folds, and here comes Reyes with the 3-5 offsuit.
Yeah, I would like to have had a little bet with ace queen and juice up the pot, especially when something like this happens right here.
Ace 3 deuce, two pair for Rafa, a wheel draw for Reyes, and an ace with a great kicker.
Rafa's got such a big stack, too. I definitely would have liked to raise there if you're in T's spot there, but Rafa wasn't going to be folding to the raise anyways with the ace and the big blind getting a discount to call. So he would have spiked this flop no matter what.
Absolutely.
And T is going to really, we've seen him get away multiple time and time again at this final table.
300 grand.
This is a very difficult spot.
300,000 is the bet from Rafa.
Especially after you limp and it goes all the way around. The big blind just checks the option. You cannot really put him on 2 pairs.
So if you would have raised and Rafa would have called and then he bets into T right now, you know that there's a problem. Now you don't have any idea what he's holding.
You're really stuck. Maybe you're a little worried on maybe he flopped a straight, but will he really be betting this much with the flop straight? Unlikely, but he gets away again.
Dude, I just all the credit, man, to T for folding.
So T really, really sharp tonight. That's why this man has won the 100K, one of our previous 100K tournaments, and walked out of the lodge with 50K plus. It's because of folds like that. A lot of players would go broke in that situation, but he recognizes that something smells kind of fishy here and gets away with the ace-queen there. So a very, 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 very good laydown.
How does it, Rafa just showed him that he made a great laydown. That just helps build confidence in everything that T is doing tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would not show him that hand.
100%. You want to keep your opponents, guessing and really wondering, is that the correct lay down? Maybe I could have just doubled up there. Was I good? Was I not good? And when you make a great lay down like that and get shown that you made such a great lay down, that really does boost your confidence and gives you a little bit more motivation and steam to power on this final table, knowing that your reads are solid and you're playing well. And that's not something you want to do to a good player. You don't want to give them any more confidence than needed. So I would just send my cards into the muck there and power on to the next hand.
Jack 10-3. Pair for Reyes. Nothing for T. There's a deuce. Now there's a little gut shot.
Yeah,
Outer.
Yeah, I'd like to Reyes to have a bet on that, just to find out where he's at with that middle pair.
A little heads-up action. No help for T. And Reyes is going to win this as long as he stays in there. It's going to show the 10. Yeah, I'm watching a little bit of the ESPN Tiger Woods and his son. Now, his son has a sweet swing.
Yeah,
my goodness.
That's what I was saying. The kid's just 11 years old, and he was carrying Dad today.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Pretty wild stuff. You're going to be seeing more of that kid as time goes on.
The Woods legacy continues.
Yeah. Pardon me, guys, while I dive into my backpack for a second. I need to get my phone charger.
Yeah, I need a charger, too, but mine's dead.
I don't know how much juice I have on this.
So we'll go to the next hand. Thank you for tuning in, spending late night at the Lodge, poker night at the Lodge tonight, live stream.
Late night at the Lodge.
Brianna looks at ace-5 offsuit. Joe Turbo, ace-3 suited. He's going to like this hand. He just likes to play.
Yeah, you see how ace-5, Brianna gun folded that, weak kicker, and then you see a different style of play with Joe, looking to potentially even raise this one.
Joe's heating up again. He
Joe
looks like he
definitely more
raises.
of a cash player. Might not be used to these situations late in at the final table. But he's going to play it.
Trying to get away with this one. I don't know. Small blind might get
Joe
called.
Turbo stack is off, so it says he's got 365, but you see right there in front of him he has at least 700K behind.
Yeah.
Let's
Blues are
Just keep that in
25,000.
mind. Don't really worry about those graphics for his stack size.
Yeah, stack of blue of 20 is 500,000. Stack of pink in 20s is 100,000.
Yeah, it almost has almost close to 800K. Yeah.
So Mayo will fold.
He's got
And-
more close to 900K.
You know,
Oh my
he's got
God!
another
There's a stack of blue behind there. Oh my God! No,
He's got 1.3 million probably. So we'll count it up with you. But he's going to have 2 full stacks of blue, which is $1 million, and then it looks like 2.5 stacks of pink, or 3 stacks. So he's got 1.3 million over.
So we played a couple orbits now without elimination. Still 6 players left. We're going to be playing this till there is only 1 left. So, get your blanket, get your cognac, get your cigar, get your vodka, get your ice water, lemonade, whatever you need. We're going to be here for a while until we crown a winner.
And you can see what those blinds are doing. Breonna Taylor, unfortunately, has not been able to be as active as he would like to be, and his stack is shrinking.
All you need is 1 double up.
Yep.
Mayo definitely on the short stack here, so
But 7-4 is rough.
he's hoping some fireworks happen between some other players so he can ladder up on the pay scale.
K9 versus 47.
K9 Woof.
K9 Wolf, all diamonds.
Woof on that flop.
No diamonds
Where
in
is
either
that
hand.
dog? Can somebody find the dog, please? My goodness.
What is the dog doing? You never know what he's
I never know
doing.
what the dog's doing out there in this poker room. Need the dog treats, Ma. The dog treats.
Oh my goodness! I saw that. I tripped over the dog 3 times today, but I don't see him.
Lucky they didn't bite back. You're tripping over me 3 times. I'm definitely
Yeah.
tripping you back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow that.
We'll go on to the next hand.
Needs to be some kosher meat.
Yes. Next
boy.
hand. Frank is doing a stellar job. He's in for the long haul.
Yeah, Frank lives and dies for the stream.
He loves it. He says he's got fans from all over the country texting in saying that they want to meet Frank, the dealer.
It's important to know that when you're playing these tournament pokers where you're not tipping the dealers after each hand like cash. So when you win a big score like this, remember to take care of your dealers. They've been working all hard here throughout the day, especially on Saturday and Sunday here at the Lodge, big tournament days. Don't forget about your dealers at the end of the tournament if you walk away with that big money. Nice to give them a couple hundred or even maybe 1,000. You never know if you're feeling generous.
From a player's perspective, Corey, you just finished the tournament. I'm not going to ask you what you tipped, but what is the general idea of what you'd like to leave dealers for their time?
It ranges based on whether or not there's a staffing fee that comes out of it, but I tend to do anywhere from 2 to 4%, depending upon the staffing fee. If they're already getting tipped,
Right.
And then I personally, when I win a big one, I remember all those big hands you talked about earlier,
right.
And I go to those dealers privately and give them a little extra.
Very nice.
And especially for Corey and I, we're regulars here at the Lodge, so we like to take care of our own.
Absolutely. These guys work hard, and they deserve it.
Yeah, it's a job, and it's if you do a good job, you like to be rewarded. So Ace King is going to flop 2 pair with a great kicker. Joe Turbo is going to have none of that. And before even Rafa gets a bet out there, Joe Turbo says, let's move on to the next one. I don't have time.
Cigar lit for Johnny Boy in the chat, so we'd love that. Make sure you have your ashtray nearby. We don't want to get any of that on the rug, carpet.
Now that Saturday Night Live is about over, people will be tuning in to the next great show on the tube, Poker Night at the Lodge.
Correct.
I read today that Jim Carrey decided he's not going to continue playing Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live, so they're going to have to find a new Joe Biden for the next 4 years to play on Saturday Night Live.
I'm sure they'll find plenty of volunteers stepping up for that.
Yeah.
That show's been running for, 40, 50 years now?
Since 75.
Shoot, man.
Believe it or not, I'm old enough. I saw the very first one. 1975. I was a 9-year-old kid.
They produced a lot of great comedians, a lot of talent out of the early years, and since then.
Yeah, it has its hit and misses, but some great talent over the years have passed through 30 Rock. 7 deuce offsuit for Joe Turbo, and he's going to raise it 160 for, of course, you've got 7 deuce offsuit.
Yeah, you're in the blind, small blind. Why not raise it up and see what happens, especially, if Reyes has been playing a little bit more conservative and tight. I mean, you're going to fold a raise there with a small blind with that hand, because that hand does not flop at all, right? Well, what I mean by that, 7 deuce is not there's very little things you can do with it after post flop, so you got to take it down pre flop.
6 players remain here on the tournament. Once again, we want to thank the guys behind the scenes, Jermaine and Dave Klaproth. Dave really puts everything together. Has all the equipment, has the talent, the editing skills, and really does a good job. And he doesn't get a lot of notoriety because he's not on the audio. He's behind the scenes, but want to give him a big thumbs up. Good job, Dave Klaproth, the executive producer. So we'll go on with Joe Turbo on the button, Reyes, and Rafa in this with Joe Turbo. Joe Turbo makes the raise. Looks like it's 170. It's the raise. Reyes 140 to call, and he'll fold, as does Rafa.
Takes it down.
Yeah, it's appropriate raise for button.
Pretty high. Shows the ace, does not show the 9. Doesn't want his opponents to see that, but I don't mind flashing the ace there. Definitely got a raise there when he folds around to you on the button with an ace, 6-handed at the final table. Put pressure on your opponents. Takes it down without even seeing the flop. Easy life, easy world.
Reyes, all of a sudden, the chips are starting to accumulate.
Yeah, I mean, just literally an hour ago, man, he down low, and just this is what shows you what you can do with a little bit of some good cards, good run, and a little aggression.
10-3 offsuit. Mayo tosses it in. Breonna Taylor, who's been a little silent. Queen 6 offsuit, just not getting the cards.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he's just not getting cards to be able to play with. And you're getting blinded, round and round.
Whereas Joe Turbo's been in nearly every hand.
Round and round. You talking about round and round, Corey? Should we start up a round and round game? Is it Monday yet?
No, actually, yeah, round and round's pretty cool. You get a chance to play both. Depending on the round and round game, but in this case, Hold'em and Omaha.
Round and round has been picking up steam here at the Lodge. Usually on Monday or Wednesdays, or anytime you want to spread it. You know, a round of Omaha, a round of Hold'em, pretty popular game. A lot of players here at the Lodge have been seeming to enjoy that, so we'll probably have that more in the future.
Yeah, and you kind of satisfy the Omaha players that want to play Omaha, and the Hold'em players want to play Omaha, Hold'em, and kind of a compromise there for all.
Nice little mix, good little action. If you get a little board of 2 cards, you'll have an orbit of 4. Shout out to Big Nate there in the stream. You see him in the top left, one of Austin's greatest tournament players around.
Oh, what it was last year around this time.
Super
he took
hot.
down 240,000 and then came back to the Lodge the next week and won another 8. He had a good Christmas last year.
Absolutely. Nice to see him around again. He fired this tournament and then busted, I think, maybe in the 20s or 30s, and I would see him grinding that 1-3 game, running good over there. So not just only a tournament player for Big Nate.
Ooh, so Brianna Taylor, obviously getting low jams with 3s.
See, wakes up with ace-jack.
Yeah, callable hand here. Brianna jamming under the gun usually shows a lot of strength. Probably T putting Brianna on a stronger hand than 3s, hoping to be flipping at best. Let's see what T comes with. Another really, really tough decision. Looks to be leaning towards a fold.
And I actually agree with that. I mean, Brianna hasn't played many hands at all, so you definitely the best you can do is flip. And if he has an ace king, ace queen,
Mayo snaps it off here. So Mayo in the big blind. What does Mayo have?
Ace king, yeah.
So we just saw an ace, fold. So the 3s to be in good shape here. Oh, and the jack is not what T wanted to see. If T makes that call,
yeah, he would have had it.
We got.
Oh my God!
The king.
King on the river.
And so Brianna Taylor goes down.
By T, but that's going to do it. No, Mayo was the short stack.
Yeah.
So I believe Brianna's still going to have some chips behind.
Brianna's that fellow Aggie too, man. Come on, Aggies.
Didn't they make the playoff today with the win over Tennessee? I think they're in the NCAA playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. One of the 6 that's going to play for it.
Notre Dame? What happened with that game?
For some reason, somebody tweeted out that they were in. We'll see.
I forgot who was in that. Who won that game?
But you mentioned Nate earlier. If there was a husband and wife poker league, I would bet on Nate and his wife to win any league. I put them up.
Clemson smashed Notre Dame.
Yeah, she knows. Great player.
She knows. She's been on several final tables here.
Yeah, that's a deadly duo. Definitely a deadly duo of those two. 42 people in the chat. That's what we'd love to see. We keep gaining momentum week after week. So if you're tuning in and you like what you see, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're here every Saturday night streaming, usually our 5-5 uncapped game. But tonight, special occasion, Art of Poker, once a month here at the Lodge. We're going to be streaming that. Big money on the line, almost $13,000 for first place. So if you like tournament poker, you're in the right place.
There's an all-in call. All-in bet by Mayo over to Brianna Taylor now.
Brianna real short, but still going to lay it down. And looks like that shove's going to get through. Also, again, players, people in the chat, keep in mind that this is tournament poker and we are on a clock. So there will be a break at some point coming up in the near future. We're probably going to be taking a 10. I'm not sure if it's the dinner break. It might be a half-hour break at max. Well, it's already midnight, so I don't think it's that. It's probably going to be like a 10-minute break. So if you're in the chat and we take that 10-minute break, that'll be a good time, go to the bathroom, maybe get some chocolate cake from the fridge.
Ooh, that sounds good.
A little liquor.
Don't leave us for good. Come on back and so we can crown a winner. Maybe get in bed, brush your teeth. Just keep in mind that's going to be coming up here in the future.
Yeah, my wife made a good chocolate cake today. I'm going to have a piece when I get home. It may be 4 in the morning, but Reyes will fold. Reyes has kind of quieted down. He went on a little spurt, and Rafa will fold. And all in for T with pocket 10s, and it looks like a healthy amount.
Healthy amount, but still I like the shove. But you're going to get called there by Brianna. Brianna doesn't has any time to waste. I'm sure T's going to be ahead.
Ace-9, yeah.
Ace-9 suited, and Turbo's not going to want to miss out on the action. If he has anything good, 7-9, maybe on his borderline, he'll fold it.
Good hand.
We'll see if an ace spikes here, or some clubs.
T with pocket tens. Brianna with ace-9 suited.
Let's see.
Brianna in for his tournament life. 4, king, 5. No help for Brianna.
He's an ace or backdoor.
Oh, there's the ace.
So everybody from behind is catching up here. We need to spike a 10 now for T. Doesn't come, so T's going to take a little hit, and Brianna's going to survive, and we're still going to play 6-handed. Final table.
T down to about 6 blinds.
The only Aggie on the table, still in the tournament. Come on.
Let me shout out to the Wildcats. I got my boy Lenny in the chat. Leo got game. Remember, that is our 6'4" roommate who plays ball, watching from LA, shutdown city over there with COVID-19, but we're happy you're in the chat. Youngblood says, do some lines of cocaine, maybe commit a few felonies. We don't want to see that. Well, maybe. If you can commit some felonies and you're allowed to have your phone in the cop car or something along those lines, then you can maybe tune in on the YouTube channel. But we wouldn't advise.
Hey, we can have a prison following.
Prison following?
We're big in California penal.
Yeah, they love poker in prison. But let's try and stay safe out there, everybody.
We're huge in the prison world. Ace-8 suited.
I see a shove here. I knew it.
Here comes Brianna for his 380. And Joe Turbo, don't know what he has yet. He's in the small blind. He and Reyes behind. They're going to get a count. Joe Turbo with 8-4 suited.
Joe Turbo getting a little Hollywood time in. Somebody remind Joe that he has cards.
He's not really considering this, is he?
Oh, my God. We've seen Joe do some crazy. Don't do it, Joe.
It is just 360.
Send.
And
So
Brianna's going to win the blinds.
Fresh off the double up. A huge double up from way behind there. Spikes that ace on the turn. Full double up, and now shoves there. Proper shove. Doesn't get any action, but he didn't really want any action. He picks up those blinds and antes. And the...
well, he's taking advantage of his rush. He showed ace-king last time he shoved.
You got to shove there with ace-8.
Ace, absolutely.
100%. And now building up that stack again. So, anything's possible here. You get one double up, get some momentum, take down a couple blinds and antes, and you're right back in the mix.
Frank will put cards in the air. Don't forget right now, with the blinds and the big blind ante, there's 150K already in the skillet. Queen deuce. There goes an all-in from T. T will raise it up and go all in for about 340 over to Mayo with king-queen offsuit, and he's thinking about calling. He's in kind of middle position there.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. I mean, it's short-handed though. I mean, at this point, with 6 left here.
Yep.
But king-queen could be a trouble hand too. I mean, it's a good hand to push with, to call with. Any ace is going to have a huge advantage, ace-x, over the king-queen. If it just comes out blank.
He's going to fold.
And you got all these people behind you. And Breonna Taylor wakes up with
rockets.
Rockets.
He's getting hot right now.
Wow.
He's waited. He's been patient.
I'm curious if he's going to not re-raise, but just call and hope someone else comes in to get more value on the chips. And we'll see here in a second.
That's exactly what he's deciding.
I mean, yeah, you got aces. You got
I don't mind setting a trap here as well.
Exactly. There you
There's
go.
there's no reason for him to raise because he wants somebody to come behind him, right?
He wants someone else to call, and then he can be heads up with them.
Yeah.
T playing so well at the final table, just up against it here, trying to squeeze one through with the queen-2 suited.
Don't get up, T. You've been kind of lucky.
I don't know. I don't think
He's going to hit some spades here. Watch this.
I don't think T's going to survive this one. You want a $5 bet here?
No.
2 to 1?
I don't bet
2 to
with
1.
I don't
3
bet
to
with
1?
you.
3 to 1. 4 to 1?
Not,
How about
not
6 to 1?
anymore.
10 to 1? Let's
Hey, that's still a straight draw out there.
I'm trying to give you a chance here.
That'll do it.
I'll do it.
There's no more for T. T is eliminated in 6th place.
Phil says there are 3 clowns in the booth tonight. That is correct, sir. It is Corey Siegel. Do you used to play with Phil? You used to play with Phil.
Oh, yeah, the big old head Phil.
Yeah, big old baldy locks.
It's like King of the Hill looking.
Yeah, that silly Canadian from Toronto area.
Hey, if you're going to bring it,
Yeah.
you better bring it strong, or else you're going to get tattooed by this.
If you're going to needle us, we're going to needle you right back.
$2,307 for T. He'll go home and take somebody out to a nice lunch tomorrow on that big payday. Next one up. Huge pay jump, $700 pay jump for 5th place.
Yeah, in all seriousness, it's nice to see Phil back in the chat. He's been with us every Saturday. Next Saturday, we're going to have that 5-5 uncapped cash game again. Maybe your boy Cy will be in the mix, so tune in for that. Spread the word around Canada.
You're going to play the day after Christmas?
No, I'm going to be in the booth with you, my buddy.
Okay, you might have to be all alone because I think I have a football game that night.
Next
we'll
Saturday?
have to decide, yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Maybe.
I'll find out on Monday. I believe I'm
Yeah.
announcing a football game. This is football season for me right now. So
yeah, you let me know. We're definitely going to have a game going on Saturday night, and if you're not going to be here, I will try and find a replacement.
yeah,
for
you'll find somebody to talk. They will never replace me. All in from Brianna with pocket tens.
Wow, what a heater. Picks up the aces, eliminates a player, and now wakes up with tens again, trying to shut it down right now.
He's all in for about 1.1 mil.
Turbo loves the cameras. Maybe we might need to get a camera to follow Joe Turbo around, just regular in life. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Joe Turbo.
He's going to fold.
Come on, Joe. It's 12 o'clock right now. You know we want to go home. We're doing this live. You're killing me,
Yeah,
Joe
he gets
Turbo.
it through. Yeah, that definitely good stuff there. Pocket tens.
Joe is laughing. 5 players remain here on the Art of Poker. It's a $200 buy-in. 251 entries today. Doesn't mean players, just because you could enter a number of times.
8-bullet Bobby, as we mentioned earlier.
And there was over 50,000. 50,200 to be exact in the prize pool, which we guaranteed. What was it? It was a $20,000 guarantee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just smashed the guarantee.
2.5.
2.5, yeah. Very rare. I mean, I think I've been here 2 years, and I think I've seen one, knock on wood, I think I've seen 1 or maybe 2 tournaments that didn't hit the guarantee. We always seem to smash guarantees, and we hope that continues. And that just is a testament to all the great players we have and the following and the action we provide.
So we don't know what Rafael raised with here, but
he raises to 300K. Mayo goes out, and Breonna Taylor, who's been on fire with ace-4 suited, is probably going to make this call. She's got all the chips in the world.
yeah, what's the min raise there? Is it
240 to call. He's going to go all in with the ace-4 suited.
We're just living in
Putting some
Brianna's
pressure
world
on.
right now. Aces, tens, ace-4.
And he folds.
Gets it through, so a nice play there by Brianna.
Yeah, he thought Rafa was opening pretty wide on the button, and he just applied the pressure.
Oh, I see the dog a little bit. The dog peeks up from behind him, so the dog is alive and well.
Wow. The dog is
there.
there.
There it is.
It's a service dog, and
doggy
he's
run
well behaved.
I think he went over to Outback Steakhouse for a
Yeah.
steak,
Yeah, quick
little wine,
T-bone.
little T-bone.
Heard about the aces and the tens and had to get right back. And nap time is over, and Brianna is stacking.
That's a companion, you know. Just sit behind.
Yeah. What a rail.
That is a rail. That's a great rail. I wonder what the dog's name is. I saw he had wording on, but I know his name.
It's a rescue dog. I did hear
Yeah.
that. So
We'll have to find that out on the break. 8-6 suited folds. Mayo will fold over to Brianna with 7-8, who's been on fire. Will fold the small blind, and Turbo will take it down. He shows 2 face cards, and we'll go on to the next hand. 5 remaining.
Brianna looks to be getting a little color up. Let me get a color up, C3.
on fire color up.
Yeah.
Chip count, Rafa in the lead, 2.4 million. I think those might be a little off, but Rafa.
Yeah, I don't think we can fully trust those right at the moment.
Look at those payouts, boys. 12,299 up top.
These guys are battling late for that big prize money.
Somebody's wanting to get an extra amount to be put on their 2020 taxes.
Yeah,
They
hopefully he has
won't
some tax
mind.
write-offs to counter that. Yeah.
They won't mind that. Brianna looks down at his cards, and he's been on fire. Another ace in his hand. He's woken up with aces nonstop.
Pretty good raise hand there, especially short-handed here.
Really switching gears. Earlier on in the final table, wasn't getting any cards, being very patient. And now all of a sudden, almost raising every single hand here. So his opponents are probably a little confused. Not sure quite what's going on. And when he gets called and goes to showdown, he has aces, he has tens, he has the goods. So
Absolutely.
really striking some fear in his opponents and getting all the run good in the world. And what a better time to do it than here at the final table. So I know Brianna's got some fans in the chat, and he is running good.
Yeah, I mean, this is a clinic on showing patience until you can double up and then start getting those cards and running it up. And now his reputation is he's just running over the deck, so he can pretty much raise with anything and get a lot of pressure applied.
Let's see how his opponents adjust to this, because they cannot continue to get run over. As you see, Mayo wakes up with big slick suited on the shorter side compared to the other players at the table. What does he want to do with this? He's going to rip it all in.
Ace king suited.
And finally, Brianna lets one go. He says, all right, boys, I'll let you guys play this out. And the ace king does not get any action, floats all the way around, and Mayo will survive.
And it looks like they're maybe getting on a break here.
Yeah, it looks like a couple players just got up or
putting on the coat, going out for a smoke or a drink.
Shout out to Terry in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat, Terry. Giving us some insight about Bryson's dog, an asthma service dog. So definitely bringing some heat and fire at the final table. The doggy run good. A beautiful dog at that. And Brianna putting on a clinic here. Let's see if that can continue.
under the gun will make the fold. Joe Turbo, Jack 7 offsuit. And he's kind of quieted down the last orbit and a half.
He lost some of his chips there early on with some of those looser calls, and I think he's finally buttoned up a bit.
All in for Reyes. Reyes said it's been a long day, folks, and I've got an ace. I haven't seen one in a while, so I'll go all in.
Yeah, he has about 400K, maybe 500K. It's hard to tell there.
Yeah.
615.
And he'll take it down. Lodge Poker Club open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The one day we're going to close is Christmas Eve. We'll close at 4 p.m., reopen Christmas Day at 4 p.m., so we'll give 24 hours to let all the lodge employees say hello to their families, reconnect, give some gifts, eat some great dinner, and then come on back, because I know there's going to be a line at the door on Christmas Day of poker players who have spent all day with their family and are ready to play some cards. Jack 10 offsuit for Joe Turbo.
You guys noticed that little skull on Brianna's sweatshirt, right? So maybe it's the skull run good.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just going to throw that out there, boys.
The blinds are 40-80 right now, looks like.
40-80-80.
Yeah, man.
So that's 200K every time. And there's Mayo. Mayo will put it all in.
With...
Yeah, Brianna in a tough spot here with
Brianna,
ace-6 suited.
It says, it says Brianna all in with ace-6, but I think that means it should be Mayo.
Yeah, it's Mayo. Brianna has not acted yet, so keep that in mind.
Well, it's not showing. It's not showing Mayo's.
Traffic's a little off on this
chips.
hand, but it's okay. The dog is up.
There we go. Queen Jack
the dog
suited.
is at attention. Notices that.
Is that a tell? Is that a tell when the dog stands up?
Possibly. You know, the dog has those senses that they can just laser reads that he knew it was ace-6 suited there in a tough spot. But Brianna doesn't want to go with it there. Really tough spot there. He's going to try and wait for another one. Mayo's been pretty snug. We see that ace-6 was ahead of the queen jack, but still not willing to risk it right then and there. So that's all right. We'll play on. Still five-handed here. Big money at stake. The Art of Poker, December 2020 edition, rolls on.
What do you think about limping in with under the gun with Jack 10 offsuit?
That's what we saw here, right?
With Joe, yeah, Joe did that a second ago.
That's okay. He's still got a decent amount of chips behind there. I don't mind the limping there with the Jack 10. I could definitely improve that on my game. I'm not really one for limping at all, but especially when you're late in the tournament, ICM implications, it's not a terrible play. If you can see a cheap flop there, you can really get away from it easily if you get blown off by an all-in or a raise. So
You got all these short stacks behind you, though.
yeah, you're opening yourself it up for a squeeze player for
Mayo.
the jam. So yeah, that's
And then they're going to call it a jam or
yeah,
not.
that's the negative.
Mayo's going to go all in. And a fold by Brianna over to Joe Turbo with 8-6. Don't think he's going to be making this call. And I'll tell you a little story about a dog that I met here after this hand. I'll do a quick little story.
Uh-oh, story time with Rick.
From a man named Jeb.
Yes.
Story time
And
with Rick.
He's going to fold. And so I'm in a bar 2 weeks ago, and the guy comes in with a dog and goes up to the bartender and says, I'll bet you $50 that my dog can talk. The bartender says, no, he can't. All right, $50. And the guy says to his dog, what's on top of the ceiling? And the dog says, roof, roof. And he says, see, my dog can talk. Give me the 50. He said, come on, ask him a real question. So he said, okay, what's the texture of sandpaper? Dog says, rough, rough. He says, see, my dog can talk. Finally, the bartender's really upset. He said, ask him a real question. He says, okay, who's the greatest baseball player that ever lived? The dog says, Ruth, Ruth, see, my dog can talk. Bartender kicks them both out. They're on the curb. The dog looks at the owner and says, maybe I should have said DiMaggio? There's my dog joke. Ba-da-boom, boom.
Don't quit your day job.
There you go. There you
Hey,
go.
I fit that in between hands.
No, that was well timed and well put.
Well speeded.
You
perfect
definitely
speed.
told worse jokes than that, so we'll give you credit for that one, Ray.
All right. So back to poker. Joe Turbo looks down at 10-6 offsuit in the small blind. 40 to call for him. And as you mentioned, you don't like just calling in the small blind. But he does, and it gets through. And here we go to the flop. Haven't seen a flop in a while. 7-5 deuce. Rainbow.
Not much of anything for
That's my
anybody.
preference, not to call a small blind, because you're kind of stuck always in last position, ultimate last position on the flop. And Reyes checked.
Not much of anything out there right now.
Although this board texture really favors the blinds, especially when nothing gets raised pre. So
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a little bit of a bet from Reyes after the check from Joe, after he just called to see where Joe's at.
There's a bet, 150.
Oh, there's three-way, never mind. I thought it was heads up.
yeah, three-way under the gun.
Over to Joe Turbo with the 10-6.
It's really hard for Rafa to represent a strong hand there without betting pre. Under the gun, not really that strong. And again, that
Yeah.
flop texture favors the blinds.
Exactly, so
Still,
that's why Reyes, if he would have bet,
Yeah.
then,
I
he
would've-
represents
yeah.
some of the smaller cards as a blind, and then
Yeah.
he could have taken it
I
down.
would have liked to seen a bet there for the big blind as well. But it goes check, check, and Rafa will take it down.
So you guys think of stuff that I'm just not even thinking of, and that makes a lot of sense why I don't do well in tournaments. I mean, the fact that the guy who's probably going to hit a flop like that is the guy in the big blind who has to call because he's already got his money in there.
Right. And unless the under the gun there was really trapping huge with the aces, kings, or some one of those types of hands, he doesn't really have much there to be betting with. But the C-bet takes it down. Good enough, and we'll play the next one here. And
All
Reyes is
in.
going to be shoving.
10-9.
In the small blind, look with his hand on his forehead playing, please fold, don't look at me, don't look at me.
Yeah.
Gets
He's
it through.
praying with a suited connector.
Well, his prayers were answered, and he runs like God. Don't forget that this is God that we are dealing with in C5. It's
true.
Should have been home hours ago.
Is that James Burns' son? Is that who it was? Play
Spike.
God? Burns, right?
I don't know. We got 3 players wearing sunglasses. We talked about that earlier. 3 out of the 5 wearing shades. Where's Brianna? I thought Brianna might be wearing.
Brianna just got the cap
So
on.
2 out of the 5. But
Shout out to the
You-
Yankees.
do you wear shades, Corey?
I do, yeah. Partly because actually in some places the light is so bright, I actually like to tone it down. It helps me focus. I'm very similar to Mike, where it helps me focus on what's going on. And sometimes I sport the hoodie, sometimes I don't. Depends on where I'm at mentally.
Or if he's on the stream or not.
Yeah, you were hiding from the stream.
If I was on this stream, I'd be wearing what I'm wearing right now, which is not a hoodie.
Okay.
You were not wanting any.
Too bad you were a bubble boy at the final table, though.
Stop kneeling. I mean, at least I played the tournament. Like,
Yeah.
That's true. But I had prior commitments here to be in the booth, so I got to honor that. But I will be out there.
I rushed to get here as fast as I could. See, okay. I sacrificed.
Yes.
Sacrificed the final table to be here with you guys.
Yes. What a bench.
5 players remain. Joe Turbo is under the gun with, ace-10 suited. He's going to put some money in here. It's hard to pick up the cards with those gloves. But he's going to raise it up here, I imagine.
Yeah, the long-distance camera, I thought his hands were blue. Next time you see the long-distance snapshot, because of the black jacket, he's like, does he have 2 hands?
Like he got caught with the die and pulling a fire alarm.
Ooh,
250.
Oh, boy.
5 reds go in there. That's $500,000.
Yeah, this is going to get dicey here.
Ladies for Rafi. Turbo's not going to get away from this, I don't think. Do you? I mean, he's already in for 250. He's going to make the call.
Snap call.
All in.
Yeah, he likes his ace-10. Does look good to him. And
we've seen ace-10 survive once today.
Yeah.
But really in bad shape for Joe Turbo.
First tournament life, because Rafi's got to cover him.
We're going to have to double-check these stacks again, because Joe Turbo's stack was a little off earlier.
No, he's got 2 giant stacks of blue. 7, deuce, jack.
Well, some runner backdoor hearts.
No heart there. He's dead to an ace.
Ace and ace only. One time for Joe Turbo. Will it take place?
Nope.
And Joe Turbo.
Joe Turbo will go out in 5th place.
A little bit in disbelief. And he's going to have to go home and think about when he called off that stack with his sailboats 4-4. Really lost about half of his stack in that situation. And never really recovered from it. But still, a nice run by Joe. We'll see him next week maybe on our 5-5
Blue hand Joe
game. Yep, maybe you got to take those gloves off a little bit, but still going to the cage collecting $3K.
3,000.
Saturday.
That's not bad for a day's work.
He can add another Gucci bag to the 2 he has already on his strap there.
Gucci.
And my goodness, 3,027 down to 4. We've got Alex and Josh in the blue shirts.
This might be the break that we were referring to, so I think these players are going to be taking a 10-minute break right here. So if you're watching in the chat and you're enjoying this broadcast, stick with us. Take a little 10-minute break here. You got to grab something from the fridge. You got to go to the bathroom. Now is the time to do it. Maybe walk the dog, as we see Bryson doing that. And I think I'm going to go get a glass of water here real quick, too. So I will be back in about 5 minutes.
Same here, a little bathroom break.
All right.
Rick, you're going to fly solo?
Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit.
Tell some more jokes to the people?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
I'll give you my phone so if you want to interact with the chat.
Folks, it's a short break. It's not a long break. I believe maybe 10 minutes. And we're sitting here at 12:23 Austin time.
If you have any questions, comments.
Any comments? We got 33 people in.
This is a day tournament, so it's pretty good cash money for just $200 and one day.
Stick to sports, Rick. I guess that mentioned that was my joke. I thought that was a rather good joke there. It was topical. It was about a dog, mixed in a little sports. But hey, I'll do that. 31 people in the live chat at 12:23 in the evening. This is the Art of Poker you're watching. We are on a 10-minute break. 4 players remaining. The winner is going to walk away with $12,000. And we've been joined in the booth all night by 2 great players. Mike the Skull Reisman, who joins me each and every poker night at the Lodge. And then we added Corey Siegel, who finished 10th in this tournament. Corey, you're an expert tournament player. I'll just say it. You don't have to say it, because I know people are often say, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to call you an expert. When you were out on the tournament circuit, did you run into the same guys? You went from city to city? Did everybody travel in groups, in packs?
Yeah, so when I did the circuit, I mostly played cash. About 20% of my time I played tournament, and this is during the Binger days, Chloe Gowan days, Mercer was just up and coming at the time. So it was kind of that whole crew in 2010 that would always show up to the same tournaments. And then you would have a bunch of locals and a bunch of out-towners. And I followed the circuit mostly for the cash at the time, but I did play in 1 or 2 tournaments each city that I was at, just because that long ball was good. And I wasn't a tournament specialist by any means at the time. I'm a lot better tournament player now than I was then even.
So you'd stay in a city for, 4 or 5 days, or what would
Oh,
you?
no, going like Vegas, I went from November through December with the Venetian Deep Stack, and then that moved into the Bellagio Diamond tournament, and then I left. And
Would you stay at a hotel or for friends, or what? Would you rent a place? What would you do when you're staying in?
it was the cheaper end of the hotels.
Yeah.
We're there to sleep and eat and take a shower. It wasn't the Flamingo was my favorite spot for $50 a night sort of hotels right across from Bellagio and down the street from Venetian. But yeah, I got some of that stuff going on. But I'm really looking forward to that 250K tournament that's coming up in February. That'll be the biggest
200K.
200K.
It'll probably get to 250, but we're guaranteeing 200K.
I think that's the biggest Texas tournament so far. I'm trying to think of. There's been a couple 150K ones I've been at.
Could be.
But that's the first, I think, the biggest guarantee. I know there's a $1 million one coming up, supposedly, but I haven't heard about that one yet. And, those who want to go to Florida, the WPT is having a $1 million guarantee, series, and the final $3,500 one is a $1 million guarantee. And that'll obviously be on TV.
Well, the Lodge is really investing into advertising it. I know they've got a radio buy on the largest, that's #1 sports radio station in Austin, 104.9 The Horn, and I've heard a couple of the ads so far. They're running really good, and they're going to invest in really pumping it up as well as this show. We've kind of used the first 10 or 20 episodes to really hone everything and make sure we have everything done right before we really try to explode the show. There's a lot of great poker shows out there, a lot of them, and I enjoy watching them all, and we like to think we offer a little something different with our edited shows. We do a lot of edited shows where it's not a 3 or 4 hour stretch where you're having to devote your time. You can just see, because a lot of people just like to see the major hands, the big knockouts, and we do some of those shows. Then we mix in some live streams, some cash games, some tournament live streams. I think this is the first tournament final table we've done, and so it's been fun.
What I like about the live stream is you always can learn how players play in different positions at different times of the tournament. Like, Brianna, was really not active for a long time, and then came on that run, and it just goes to show you how you can pick your spots and pick your runs and really last and get to the final, the final table, and eventually the final 2.
Yeah, he really was patient again, and then he switched gears in a second to where he went from fold to all in, and it's crazy how and those are the good players that are able to switch gears and do that consistently.
Yeah, and throughout the tournament, you're switching gears. This is why it's very mentally draining. Between pay attention to the players and the chip stack sizes and their hand ranges at the time, and which can change throughout the tournament, and your chip stack and your hand range and what people perceive you to be. I mean, all this comes into factors. This is why I like tournament poker is it's very similar to chess. It has a lot of strategy behind it outside of just the numbers itself and the chips.
So you're a game player. You play chess, you just mentioned. I know you were into Magic back in the day, and poker's just a logical extension. How long have you been playing poker?
Oh, I've been playing poker since I was a kid, obviously. But 21st birthday, I went to Vegas, and what was it called? The Luxor just opened up, and it was my birthday. My parents took me there because I was able to legally gamble. And I played, 7-card stud, and there was one hold'em table, and I had no idea what that game was at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I started going in the 80s to Vegas, and when I was in college, that's when I'd go on spring break, and I'd go in the summer, and we'd go over Christmas. So I'd go 3 times a year for years and years and years. But, back then in the 80s, it was all stud. It was 7-card stud, maybe a limit hold'em game mixed into 7 stud games, 1 limit hold'em game.
Yeah.
And then it switched, in the 90s to where stud just disappeared and it was all hold'em.
I'm interested to see our outline if PLO picks up even more steam than it has, and in Congress, 5-card Big O picks up steam. Obviously, they spread it and have tournaments in it. But if people start switching from hold'em because it's kind of like stud of the 2000s up to 2010, 2020, and now they're moving into a different game. Just because people want to do something different. I'll be curious to see how that goes.
Could be. I mean, there's just so many people. Hold'em has been king for now going on a couple 25 years, where it is the predominant poker game that you see in Vegas. And I don't know. I don't see it dying down. Obviously, you see PLO. People get intimidated, especially in the high-low. In a big O game, which is the game right behind the tournament table there, a lot of people get intimidating on what's a low hand, and what's a. So you don't. Whereas a hold'em game, you could find a low limit hold'em game and basically learn as you go.
Yeah, well, Mike's returned here. That's true. I'm gonna go ahead and take my little break.
All right.
Let you, Mike, chat a bit while I go get my water.
Yeah, go for it. But
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely find a limit game. And that's why a lot of the players who play this Big O game like playing it, because they say a lot of new players come in here and they make mistakes playing the game. So there's a lot more things to consider, a lot of different strategy compared to Hold'em. But I recommend playing, maybe online a little bit with some play money until you fully grasp the concepts of different games. That's how I kind of started to learn different types of games before stepping in there into the ring and really, putting up real big money. So there's definitely ways to learn the game where it's not going to be that expensive for you.
So when you were going to school in Arizona, how many times a week would you head over to the casino?
I didn't really play. I didn't go to the casino much in college when I was in Arizona. I went to Vegas a decent amount when I was of age or close to age. My start in poker really started on the online scene, so I would play a lot on the computer. And my roommate was a big online player as well, so I would see him play along, but I mainly focused on my studies. I was a good boy, graduated, and then got into more poker in my mid-20s, and now I'm probably at my peak of my poker career right now in my mid-30s. And, you can find me playing here on an almost daily basis or around the country, around the world, playing some poker. I prefer cash, but I also like mixing it up in the tournaments. I used to be strictly only on the tournament scene. So are we back in action here as well?
Looks like we're gonna start it up again. Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us. We're four-handed here on the Art of Poker, and it's already moved from December 19th. We've been going 2 days now. We started on December 19th. Now we're on December 20th. It's 12:30 a.m. Austin time. We will go till it's finished. Rick Epstein along with Mike the Skull Reisman, Corey Siegel, who has graciously stayed after playing all day long. At least this afternoon, I was napping. You were playing poker all day and still here.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep in tomorrow, and I got some other things to do that are non-poker related, so I figured I'd come here and hang out with you boys.
I don't think I'm going to play much poker tomorrow either, but NFL Sunday, and if you have not been playing poker today, you know where the action will be tomorrow. Bryson's got a lot of support here in the chat. Big rail. One of our biggest rails we've seen so far, so a lot of people pulling for the 2-seat.
All in for Reyes.
See if you can bring it home for the fans.
Pocket threes, all in for 615. Went for a break. Said, I'm going to change my mindset, and I'm going to go all in and take one down. Now, every 4 hands, looks like the blinds are 50, 100, 100. Every 4 hands, you're putting 250,000 chips at risk.
Yeah. No joke, and you got to open up your range here. 4-handed, no time to waste.
Blue chips are 25,000. Red chips or cranberries are 100,000. Pink chips are 5,000. So we got a lot of blue chips on the table right now. During the break, they colored up. There's another all in. Second one in a row. 2 hands in. Reyes is going all in, and he gets called by Rafa.
It looks like a flip here, yep.
King Queen versus the Snowmen. Pocket eights versus King Queen. Slight favorite for Reyes. All in for his tournament life. There's a queen
and an 8.
So it's set. Oh, wow, my goodness.
There's a heart redraw. Let's see what happens here. No sweat there.
It's going to do it.
It's going to do it, yep.
And the set of 8s. And Reyes, who we've said earlier, Mike, Reyes has been running good for about 4 months.
Yeah.
As far as what we've seen.
He was due to lose one of these. You know, God can't win every race. God's got other things to do around the universe. We're going to get pretty close in stack sizes here.
And we'll go on to the next
Rob had
hand.
a lot of chips there, so now...
God takes it down. God is... I thought he was the other way around there, but our boy is the one who had 8s there, so of course he's running good. Of course he spikes the set there. What else is new?
There's the chip counts. Reyes and Rafa, both about 1.8, 1.7 respectively. And there's your payouts. Fourth place is going to walk away with $4,000. Then it goes to $54.90 to $75.99 and then to $12,000. Huge pay jump from second to first.
And the good news is, as far as I know, there is no chop discussions at all. So they're...
Yeah, that's what I've been to my understanding as well. We are playing it out tonight.
Queen 10, and there's another huge raise. Looks like that's 800,000 maybe.
Yeah, that's basically a commitment for all the chips there. Even though he's not all in, if somebody will shove over the top, he will not be folding.
1.1 million Reyes raised. Mayo with ace-5 suited and 900K. Is this the stand that he wants to make?
I don't think so. You might want to be, the aggressor, putting in the chips with an ace-5 suited, but you don't want to be calling off in that situation.
The only thing I can think of with Reyes is sometimes it's suspicious that you leave a little bit behind. It's like, does he have like kings or aces and he wants to get a call, or
you're really committing your whole stack. Maybe you see that happen in larger tournaments, just to potentially fold. The slight chance that you might fold. There's a really monster pay jump, like 20, 30K plus.
Yeah.
But when this is just a couple $1,000s, it's not that really big of a deal.
Let me ask you both, and we talked about this on an earlier show. The way somebody puts his chips into the pot, can you draw anything from that?
Yeah, I answered that on a previous, on one of our previous videos. So I'm gonna let Corey take this one and see what Corey says about that.
The answer is yes. You can. There are some people splash the pot, and that can mean something. You have to understand the player and how they're betting, but you can get some betting patterns out of them. Just always want to be consistent with how you do things.
Yeah, that's the exact answer that I gave, so I agree 100%.
Brianna Taylor makes it 350 and takes it down and said, "I'm had enough of Reyes winning pots coming off the break." There's the pre-flop raise. Everybody's pretty much equal in there. Aggression frequency, everybody's between 15 and 28, and gone to showdown. Mayo, leader of the pack there. Don't know what cumulative winnings really means in a tournament, but because it goes up and down, but we just showed you those stats. So thanks to our crack staff of statisticians, we got about 40 people working on this episode. Just kidding.
These are all bots.
Yeah. So we got a raise now. Reyes will bump it up to about 150.
Yeah,
Frank is saying, "What did you bet?" And he's going to say, he's going to call. So I guess
a little confusion on this hand.
Maybe he mentioned call verbally.
664. Reyes checks with the best hand. He doesn't know that he has the best hand, obviously. And Rafa's going to take a stab at it and put 250 in.
Let's see what Reyes does here. Ace high could be good. It definitely is good here, as we can see the cards here. But he likes to fold. I don't really like, check calling there. If I believed in my ace there, I might have let out. But
Yep, and he also had a backdoor diamond draw in that diamond draw as well, and it went over. But yeah, you definitely would have bet there, not check call.
Rick Epstein along with Mike Reisman and Corey Siegel. It is about 12:40 Austin time. We've been going for a couple hours. It had its final table started with 9. We are down to 4. And some big money is at stake. The winner up top, $12,299, is going to be a nice Christmas bonus for someone. And there's a raise from Brianna for Jack 10 offsuit to $300K. Reyes folds.
Yeah, four-handed, that's a pretty strong hand. Definitely raising a hand.
Back to Mayo, already got 100. Basically, he's got 200 already in there with the big blind and the big blind ante. So he said for another 200,
yeah,
I can play this.
He has like maybe 600 behind after that.
Yeah.
So he can do the call any more than this, though. You would have to shove because it's more than a third of the
He's got
stack.
so much out there already. 5-6 suit is not that bad. So here we go to the flop. 7-7 queen and whiff whiff. And that's a dangerous check right there because you know the continuation is coming.
Yep.
175 it looks like, and there's the fold. So Brianna playing some great poker.
Yeah, Brianna's been known around town to be a good tournament player. I really like his demeanor, keeping things very consistent, playing a sound game, using the aggression when he needs to, stepping on the brakes when he has to, and all things seems to be going right for our seat 3 position. So let's see if he can eliminate a couple players and take home that first place money. I know the chat would like that.
Go Aggies.
And
So
just give it up for the dog. What patience. We talk about patience. The dog has to sit here all day long and just look at the ground. All in for Mayo with Jack 8 and a quick call from Brianna. And here we go.
It's a little domination here, but you never know what happens when 8 hits the board.
Ace Jack versus Jack 8.
I got a feeling like the 8's coming. Just got that.
Mayo's tournament life.
Got that feeling.
8,
Oh my
6,
God.
10.
Boom. Just boom.
There's a deuce, an ace, and an ace only. There's 3 of them left.
It's tournament poker for you guys. Look at that.
And Mayo survives, and that is a huge double up for Mayo. And Breonna Taylor, who seemed to be sailing along.
Takes a little hit. Let's see if he can rebound the first
Yeah, he has about
adversity.
800K maybe. 2 reds and a stack of.
You act
Blue.
like you knew that was coming, Mikey.
I just had that feeling. Joan. Shout out to Joan.
Oh, Miss Jones on the
Joan.
line.
Yeah, channeling my inner feelings. I just had a feeling I was thinking about an 8, and then boom, right there, smack in the window on the flop. Pretty gross for Brianna, but still, it's anybody's ball game. I was taking a look at the chip stacks there, so let's see how quickly Brianna can shake that off. We saw, our boy Joe earlier make an incorrect call there, really lost half of his stack, and that really kind of tilted in there. Let's see if Brianna can rebound, even though getting it in with the goods has his opponent dominated, but still the 8 peels off. So you're going to have to shake that off and continue on here and just go on to the next hand right away and stay focused.
Is there any more poker player opponent for either of you more pleasant than Joan? I mean,
Joan's such a sweet lady. She loves the game. She's a very smart lady. So she's always a pleasure to play with.
And she can't be pushed around.
No, she will not be pushed around. You cannot push Joan around. But she's been good to me. She's been good to me and my family as well. She gifted me a nice blanket a couple months ago that I use on a regular basis on my couch.
very nice.
She knitted it herself. So
No.
she did.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's
You're something special
I
to
don't know. I
her.
didn't get a blanket, man. You're special.
I got a nice blanket from John. And
Wow.
it's pretty cozy. But we got an all-in going here.
Mayo putting his chips that he just won into play, and Reyes with K9 woof. He's going to decide on whether he wants to make a stand here, and he says, nope, not this time. And Mayo making a move now. He was the short stack, got lucky, found lightning in a bottle, found that 8 on the flop, and now he's got some chips to play from.
Yeah, that was a good fold. I pick a better spot to shove all my chips in versus K9. There's so many ways to be dominated.
I agree. Four-handed, every decision crucial. You don't want to call off there in a terrible spot, and then boom, all of a sudden you're going home after playing poker. Approaching 1 a.m. here, Central Standard Time, Round Rock, Texas. Art of Poker, December 2020 edition. There can only be one winner. Who will it be?
All in from Reyes. And Rafa, who's been quiet since the break.
Oh, looks like we have a call here.
No.
No.
There was a fold.
Fake out. Just trying to see. Trying to test our audience here, keep them awake. We thank you for sticking with us. I know it's getting late, but we're not going anywhere, and nor should you.
Wow. So what are some of the comments, Mikey? My phone's dead. I can't even see them anymore.
Chat's been kind of quiet.
All right.
Mainly the rail for our for seat 2. Everyone's kind of locked into the action. Not much going on in the chat, but we have it all in here, so I know our chat will be interested about this. Pulling for seat 3.
Yeah. Ace 8 offsuit.
Reyes with another ace lets it go. Also, Rafa had the same hand, so the shove gets through.
4 players remain. 50, 100, 100. Winner will get $12,299.
Just as Rick says, that's a nice sandwich. Very, very nice. How much mayo is on that sandwich?
What's funny is when I was on the tables, Brianna had literally 5 big blinds, and he's come back from that.
When you were, with 2 tables left, 3 tables?
It was 3 tables.
3 tables. So 5 bigs with 3 tables. So that's about 27 or less players. And now still going strong. So there you have it, folks. If you still have chips, you have a chance to survive, and you have the chance to win tournaments. So never give up on your stack. You can get there multiple ways.
$1.2 million chip bet by Reyes, and it's going to take it down with the pocket 6s, and we'll move on to the next hand.
Thank God somebody had Rick cover his shift. Otherwise, this man
there's no way.
He might have had his sleeping bag here in the booth and just gone out there to table 1 and start pitching.
Although I lost a little in the cash game earlier, so
as per usual, this man gets. Was it bingo again? Your nemesis?
No. It's been a bad 3. The last 4 sessions, it's almost made me contemplate taking a little break here from the cash games.
Yeah, don't waste your money on poker, man. Put it in Bitcoin. You're spending all that money.
Exactly.
Maybe our coaching in the booth is not paying off for you.
Well, I do give great analysis.
Okay.
I just can't catch any cards.
Just think, what would bingo do on this flop? And then just do the opposite.
Well, so Rafa here hit second pair. Moderate kicker.
Throws it into the pot and splashes the pot, and Frank says, don't do that. 250 is the bet.
We don't know what Reyes is holding right now, but that's a decent bet considering, again, 60% of the time, heads up, you don't hit the flop. So
raised to 600.
A pair strong here.
And they're just little red chips, but there's 6 of them. And Rafa's got caught speeding, and Reyes is going to show the ace.
Yep. So Reyes hit as well.
And we'll go on to the next hand.
So we've been four-handed here for quite some time.
And I wouldn't call that necessarily speeding. I mean, like I said, hitting a pair is hard to do anyway, heads up. So I just so happened that that Rafa there had the ace.
So even those players with 1 million chips, and there's 2 of them, at 100,000 big blind and big blind and Annie, you're looking at 10 big blinds with 1 million chips.
Yeah, it's pretty short play here in terms of just stack sizes and the blind levels.
Can't be here till next Tuesday, Rick. We got to crown a champion.
I know. Here comes Brianna. Going to make a little raise there, or else maybe that's just a call. And Reyes will come along. So we'll go 3 to the flop for the first time in a long time. 9-3 king. There's the turn, is a 7, and Reyes hits the 7.
Not quite sure what Brianna's holding.
There's an
here.
open-ended for Rafa. Rafa's going to come along with 125. Don't know what Brianna's holding. He may take a stab at this one. He's thinking long and hard of it. Reaching for his chips. He's going all in.
Shoving here, applying max heat. Doesn't really think his opponents are that strong after it goes check on the flop. Really putting pressure on those middling pairs.
Oh, he had kings. Yeah. He flopped a set. Now it's a monster.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. And really trying to protect against clubs there, but yeah, it's so strong again. You could have peeled that and seen what his opponents do on the river there. You run the risk of your opponent's drawing out on you.
Well, Rafa had an open and a straight.
Yeah, there's
draw.
a straight draw and the clubs there, so a lot of cards. So I don't fault Brianna for shoving there, but sometimes I like to press my luck there and really set the ultimate trap. And if the card just gets there on the river, I reassess, but I don't mind it there. Big money. Big money on the line.
Yeah.
Just shove, take it down right there.
I mean, it was a turn. He checked the flop, trying to get someone to put some money in.
Yeah, nothing wrong with shoving there.
On to the next one. Rafa looks down at 7-6 offsuit in the small blind. Gonna fold it. Mayo shows his 7s in the big blind and says, how come no one gave me any action? We're on to the next one. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Poker Night at the Lodge. We just completed episodes 19 and 20 before this show, so look for those to come out as a kind of a Christmas present to our viewers this week. They'll be released at some point.
Yep, that's Poker Night at the Lodge, and of course when you're watching right now, it's the Lodge Poker Club live stream, so we have 2 different channels. Make sure you like both and subscribe. We thank you for joining us. It's still approaching 1 a.m. I believe the play should pick up here shortly. I think we're going to have some eliminations coming up. So
there's an all-in from Mayo. Hold the Mayo.
Extra Mayo, please.
And he'll take it down and also get the button.
Better Mayo jokes. I think we're getting a little stale.
If Mayo's putting on a clinic,
I was going to say that.
Zinger.
I was just going to say that, Corey.
You snooze, you lose. Right? You snooze, you lose.
You beat me to that one.
All right. Put these
Look, if I'm going to invite you onto the show, you got to let me tell the jokes. You're the straight guy.
Hey, Mayo Clinic's one of my clients. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Mayo Clinic. All right. Next hand. Rafa under the gun. 100 to call. And he's got only 560 behind, so he's going to put it all in with about 5 big blinds. And Mayo.
Of the clinic here, we're going to waste no time. That is a snap call, and Rafa's going to be drawing to an ace.
I wouldn't have mind again, just a call versus an all in there, but with pocket kings.
He's going to show
either or is fine.
The Kennedy brothers.
Fault to shove here.
No.
ICM implications. We're only 4-handed here. These are the times when these pay jumps are very, very significant. Much rather go heads up than 3-way.
Rafa in for his tournament life. All in for his 560. Mayo's got him covered with the kings. Here's the flop. Deuce 7-10, all hearts, and the king.
The redraw of the hearts.
Yeah, redraw.
Help the ace jack.
Looking for
9 does, so an
ace or an 8.
Picks up some more outs here.
Ooh, a 9.
Close.
And kings and 9s are going to take it down, and Rafa is going to find himself eliminated here. They're going to count just to make sure, and there's no doubt that Rafa is eliminated in 4th place. And a great job by Rafa. He played very well.
He did.
And his day comes to an end.
And then there were 2. Oh,
3, yeah.
3.
3 players remain. Rafa heads to the cage to collect his cash. I want to say it was, well, there it tells, $4,041.
Yep, the next pay jump requires tax forms.
The tax cutoff.
Never a bad thing. That means you're going home with a nice little payday.
Yeah, you're making money doing that for sure.
Of course, Uncle Sam needs to get his cut. But that's okay. Down to 3, big money at stake. Who's going to go home with the double digits? Bryson's going to be shoving here, so
all in
on the button. Gets snapped off here, so back-to-back all ends right off the bat here, so we could be going heads up.
Wow.
Deuces versus 7s.
And Mayo is loving life.
No, you mean Taylor.
Well, Mayo's out of the hand. He wants one of them to lose here so
true.
he can jump.
Yeah.
Pay jump.
Interesting that Reyes just snapped that off so quickly with the deuces, saying any pair is good enough.
I guess.
No talks of any chop or anything like that.
7 with the redraw. There's the 7.
So
it's over. Yeah.
So just like that, right off the bat, 2 eliminations. Well, Reyes has him outshit by a little bit, so Reyes is probably still going to have some from behind, but a massive dent to his stack, it looks like here. And wow. So if you were dozing off or starting to fall asleep, you are now back awake because a lot has transpired here in just the last couple minutes.
Yeah, he has about 600K left.
So you know that's going to be going in here rather
6
quickly.
big blinds on the button.
Maybe even blind on the next hand.
I mean,
but just as we've been saying, Reyes has been running good for the past 6-7 weeks. He can't win every single hand. The deuce does not get there this time, and now he's up against it. It's going to really need a miracle if he wants to still survive and take home that first place money. Let's wait and see. And I was looking in the background, I'm like, that man has my shoes back there by table 1, and that was me standing there for a second. So that's me. I must have gone out we're on a 30-minute delay, so I went outside for a little water and took a visit to seat 1, so that's why I kind of see myself there in the background.
Mayo calls, and there's the raise by Breonna Taylor, who just won a huge pot against Reyes. There's the call.
Shout out to Rafa's wife in the chat. She's very proud of her husband, and as she should be. That's a good run by your man. Thanks for joining us in the chat as well, Abigail. If you like poker, we hope to see you in the future chats as well. Like and subscribe to the channel.
And you just saw how much your husband won, so make sure you get your cut tomorrow.
That's right.
And go shopping.
Christmas is going to be happy with the Reyes family.
Hey, that's tough. When your wife's watching, you can't lie about how much you win, right?
Never lie to your wife, Rick.
2:55 I'm celebrating my 30th anniversary this summer, taking the wife to Italy, her dream trip.
There you go.
Are there casinos in Italy?
Of course.
Ace on the river. Brianna hits it. And just running right now.
Yeah, I suspect there might be a bet here.
I think there's definitely going to be a bet from Brianna.
Yeah, definitely want to get a little value here. Target those 10s and 9s. Don't think you're afraid of that 7-8. You're pretty confident in your ace. Putting Mayo in a really tough spot.
He's going to make the call here.
He looks to be leaning to be making the call for sure.
He came dangerously close from having chips over the line. We do have a hard betting line here. And he had chips very close. Show that replay, please.
Oh, maybe a little lenient here. A tough decision. Looked to be making that call rather quickly, and then he's kind of pressing the brakes a little bit. Not quite sure what to do.
He does have second pair.
And we are three-handed, so second pair usually pretty strong. Nice size bet there by Brianna, really putting his opponent to the test. Will Mayo sniff it out? Not getting any reads from Brianna, looking very stoic there in the 3-seat. Hands on the top of his legs. Just staring at the board.
Got the hoodie, the hat down, I
think it's the skull run good. You see that skull over the Nike symbol there?
Get off the skull.
Come on.
Is that a skull or a spaceman? I don't know.
It's the skull. Come on.
A little Space
Force
Force action.
with the skull.
Do you hear the new title of Space Force that was released called The Guardians, and they look like to be using the Star Trek symbol?
Huh.
Yeah.
No idea what you were talking about, Corey.
Space Force.
But that's
Oh,
okay.
the Space Force.
The American USA actual space defense individuals that will be out there in space defending us.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
And he gets away. Shows
He gets
the
it
tag.
away.
Nice.
Good
nice
fold by
fold.
Mayo.
Good full down. Yeah, definitely. Saves 375 in chips. That could have been going C3's way very easily. So we've been seeing a lot of good laydowns here. Some very tough spots. But all the players at the final table have been clicking the right buttons for the most part. And that's what happens here.
Boy, massage girl in the background is working hard tonight.
And if you were worried about Abigail not getting her cut, she says in the chat that she will definitely be getting her cut. So good on you.
Good. You
Good
should.
on you, as you should.
I believe fully both ways that wife goes out, wins some money gambling. Some money needs to go to the husband to have some fun. Vice versa.
100%.
And Mayo will fold his Jack 4 offsuit. 3 players now, so your hands. Uh-oh.
Really putting the pressure on. He knows
Big
that
bet
Reyes
on the
is
call.
short, so any 2 is going in with Brianna. King high definitely good enough, and King 8 ahead of the King 3, so Reyes is going to need to spike another 3. We've seen him do it earlier.
Can
Magic strike twice for Reyes?
A lot of chop possibilities, too.
Nothing there on the heart side. That's dead there. 3 and only a 3.
Low card, a terrible card there for Reyes, too, so chop is now out of the equation, and the King 8 holds.
God has been struck down by lightning,
Wow.
the Aggie lightning.
Wow. Reyes, who's been running good, will go to the cage, and he will collect, I believe it's $5,000. We'll see here in a minute.
Yeah, a little over 5.
A little over 5, and he will go 554.90. And now we're heads up after many hours of play today in the art of poker. We're down to 2. Winner, $12,299. Second place, and Mayo's got to be happy because he was short stacked for a long time during this final table.
Oh, yeah, he's been short stacked. He was actually on my table, and he was short stacked when I was down the last 2 tables.
And this tournament started at 12 o'clock today?
12:15.
12:15, so we are approaching 1:15. So we've been playing for almost 13 hours, and we are finally down to 2.
Yeah,
Massive prize pool, over 50K plus.
Mayo was really patient, and he was very short stack. His Mayo was spread thin.
Okay. Jesus.
All right.
We're going to get back in the lab and work on our Mayo joke. Hopefully Mayo makes another final table.
Come on, give it up for that. That's at 1:05 in the morning, folks.
Yeah, a little delirious here from Slick Rick.
I perform nightly here at the Pineapple Room. Ace 4-7, 2 spades, 7 for Mayo.
Definitely connected, worth a bet there, absolutely.
And Brianna, don't know what Brianna Taylor has, but heads up, you'll be able to call a lot more here. Turn is a jack.
Got a massive chip advantage, too. Can float, kind of see what Mayo does.
Yeah,
Slows down.
Spade was rough.
Check, so maybe Brianna's holding a 4. I think maybe Brianna's holding sounds like a 4 type of hand here. Don't imagine the way this is, unless Brianna's setting a massive trap. But I'd say 4 or air if I had to bet.
Here we go.
No, I believe on a bet there. I mean, we came check on the turn and river, so a bet might take
7?
it down.
What do you think? What do you think Brianna's holding here? What do you think, Corey?
Oh man,
I have this feeling that it's 4.
it might.
Maybe it's somehow a miracle you've turned the flush.
Or a jack.
Let's see.
We won't be able. We're not gonna know.
Unfortunately, the reader's a little off on that hand, so I'm just gonna say it was a 4.
Uh-oh. There's the trophy and the beats. Josh with the Mohawk there. A great view, overhead view of the Mohawk.
Yeah,
It was perfectly
There we go. The Mohawk
cut.
angle.
And there's the trophy. Look at that. Beautiful
Yeah, maybe one day.
trophy.
Yeah, Corey only
Next month.
Corey only finishes 10th in tournaments. He's a little.
Corey, you can buy a trophy if it means that much to you.
No, you got to earn it, man.
All right.
Yeah, I second that. If you're not first, you're last.
Ricky Bobby.
That's right.
All right, we're going to Mayo with 9-6. And, all right, when you're heads up, Corey and Mike, I'll throw it out there. You know, obviously you don't have to play the premium hands anymore. You're just heads up. Your thoughts on how you play heads up, and I know it depends on who you're playing against, but how do your hand ranges change?
Well, I tend to bend the button, 70-80% of the time.
Yeah, I even bet that a little bit higher. And, now you've been playing with this opponent for all day, and now you've been at least one table with them, and you're down to 2, so you have a little idea how they're playing. You got to keep in mind the chip stack. We have a big chip advantage here for the 3 seat, so you're going to have to take some risks as you're in the 2 seat, try and get a double up, and then go from there. One hand at a time. Looks to be shoving in right here, so let's see if Brianna makes the call. Does not, so one hand at a time, try and get a double, try and even up the chip counts, and then go from there. But you definitely have to loosen up your ranges.
Yeah,
you can't afford to wait for premiums at all.
Yeah, they say you either got to be aggressive or super aggressive heads up.
Okay, that's good. That's a good bumper sticker right there. Look at that blue trophy emblazed with the Lodge logo.
And pairs hitting the flop mean a lot, heads up. Because 66% of the time, neither one of the other players do not hit the flop. So,
King 8.
in position's
all in.
king.
And a fold. Did he? No, he called. Where's? Okay.
The cards were moved away.
Yeah, okay. 8 deuce versus King 8. Here we go. Ace 7-7.
6 is still good.
Brianna could.
So the reader's a little off here.
King and Mayo's going to win this hand.
That was an interesting call with the 8 deuce. That's one of the few hands I'm like, I may have to fold, personally.
No, it wasn't 8 deuces. King 8 versus 6s.
Yeah, King 8 versus 6s.
Okay.
The readers was wrong for some reason.
Graphics a little off on that hand.
That makes a lot more sense.
Dave probably was a little too much tequila getting laid here in the stream.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge pot for Mayo.
Yeah, but just as we were saying, one hand at a time there survives. The 6s were ahead, and then he spikes that king. So
I think at this point,
champion there, but now we still have we've got a match again, boys.
Yeah, it's even Steven here.
The Mayo jar is full now, and it's
No, that was no good.
that was no good.
That's
that wasn't going. I'll stick with my spread it thin. The Mayo is spread thin. I'll leave it at that, and that's my last Mayo joke.
You promise?
That is.
All right.
And we'll go.
The chat's going to hold you to that.
That's fine. We'll go to the next one. 8 deuce again.
Mustard or Mayo? Which one do you prefer?
Mustard. Yeah.
We need to have a guy named Mustard up here.
Yeah.
Final table.
Mustard and relish, ketchup.
There we go. The whole final table should just be condiments.
That would be good.
Extra ranch, please.
That would be good. I think that should be a suggestion. One of these.
Okay, we'll think about it. Note to self.
Maybe on that $1,000
Queen.
entry.
That's definitely premium here, obviously.
Oh wow, Ace Queen. He's gonna
raise it.
No, he just calls.
That's interesting.
Oh, and Queen Jack. Breonna Taylor with the 2 face cards heads up is beautiful, isn't it?
That's a great hand. I mean, especially with someone smooth calls, which is a little, which is questioning.
Raised it. It was not. It doesn't look like a smooth call to me. It looks like a raise.
Well,
right. What was the?
It's one.
It's got 120 in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, a re-raise.
Oh my goodness.
Or is it all in here? Let's see here. All in with Ace Queen.
All in. Breonna Taylor has them covered.
Yeah, Queen Jack is with a 3-bet like that. It's not that strong. There you go. I would agree with that. I mean, that's showing some serious power. Queen Jack can be dominated.
Very strong. I agree. So a good lay down there by Brianna. Still alive.
Heads up. The art of poker.
I mean, he essentially, Mayo check raised there, so that's lost strength.
Yeah. So very tight race here as we come down to the wire.
Jack 4 for Brianna. Offsuit. On the button. You said you like to bet the button. He's just going to call it.
Oh, woke up with nuns.
Mayo with the Wayne Gretzky.
Looks like he just ripped it all in.
All in. And
that's going to do it for the jack. 4 off. Mayo's got speed sending those cards into the muck. You see that? It's just like zoom, right into the muck.
1:10 in the evening as Frank just checked his time.
He's been dealing this table for a while now.
Don't know what time we got started here. I think 10:30 around. And so we're going on 2 hours 45 minutes on the live stream. We appreciate y'all sticking around. And I really appreciate having both of you gentlemen in. It's been a pleasure. Corey Siegel and Mike the Skull Reisman, Queen 3 suited, and Breonna Taylor wakes up with Big Slick, and he's going to be raising. Just don't know how much. He doesn't want to put it all in. He wants
3-bet probably, yeah.
250 more. And Mayo's going to come along for the ride. Queen 3 suited versus Big Slick.
Big pot here brewing. Similar stack sizes here. This could swing it one way or the other. Let's see what transpires on the flop.
King Queen something.
King Queen would be really dangerous.
Jack 4, nothing.
Not a bad board for Ace King. Definitely favors the pre-flop aggressor, but he likes to check it. Check, check.
There's an ace. Breonna Taylor.
I wonder if he's going to check this to set a trap. Yep, there he goes.
Mayo doesn't fall for the trap. And a king.
Oh, wow. He's going to bet.
I mean, a queen kicker isn't exactly bad with.
No, it's not that bad the way this hand is played out.
You got to bet something at this point.
Queen high still has some showdown value, but I suspect here that Mayo's going to send this right into the muck here. Not really believing in the queen high. It does have a little showdown value.
600,000 though. That's about a quarter of Mayo's chips.
Look at Mayo eyeing Breonna's stack here. Maybe thinking about making a move here. Maybe trying to rep a hand like Queen 10. Not putting his opponent on a boat type of hand. But still, Breonna with a big bet pretty wet board, and then Mayo gets away, so rightfully so. But a nice hand by Breonna, being a little creative, taking a little bit of a different type of lines that we've seen here so far. Heads up, and that was still a nice size spot there, the way he juiced it up so a good pot for the 3-seat.
3.3 million in chips for Breonna, 2.5 million chips for Mayo. Trophy on the table, Beats headphones on the table, and a pot of cash waiting for each of them at the cage.
Thousands and thousands of dollars as we approach 1:15 Central Standard Time. Thank you all for staying with us and joining us. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be here every Saturday night. Next Saturday will be our 5-5 uncapped game, so tune in for that. There will be lots and lots of action.
Mayo will make the call. 360. Pot is ballooning up now to 820,000 chips.
Yeah, they look about even on stack size, I think.
10-8 deuce. And a gut shot straight draw for Breonna. We don't know what Mayo has. Showing that Breonna has about 1 million more in chips, all in from Mayo. I don't know if Breonna can make this call with the gut shot here. Oh, for some reason I thought he went all in. He didn't. It was a bet of 360. Here's the turn. A 6. Now Breonna hit a pair now.
So with a gut shot with 7.
No bet from Mayo.
In position here, I imagine Breonna's going to fire out a little bit of a bet here and put some pressure on Mayo, trying to decide
I particularly checks. Yeah, no, particularly checks. Yeah, he has a lot of options in the river here.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
2 pair now. but a 4-liner to a straight.
I don't think he's worried about the straight.
Yeah, you got to fire in a little small value here on the river. Doesn't elect to go for value on the turn. Bink gets stronger. His hand gets stronger on the river, trying to figure out his sizing. And gets snapped off
snap
there, so
call.
we're not quite sure what Mayo has. It's definitely not going to be a straight. 2 pairs are going to be good here.
It's got to be like a 10-something.
He said Jack
Or a
9, yeah.
Jack 9.
Hit the 9 on the river, and that cost him dearly. That cost him 525,000 chips. And now the chip lead is big time for Brianna. He's got about 4.5 to 1. He's got about 80% of the chips on the table.
So Mayo snap calls that bet there on the river.
Yeah, they're at this point, we'll see if there's going to be 2 all-ins he has to fade.
He already faded 1, so all he needs to do is do it again, and he'll be back in business. But Brianna in the driver's seat here as we're heads up. Art of Poker 2020 December edition. You see the trophy there, that beautiful trophy, and the headphones here. So we're playing for a lot and 12K. Who's going to take it home? You know, Brianna needs to buy some more doggy treats after this one.
I'm sure we're going to have plenty of coverage of the big tournament in February. We'll stream some different action of that. That's going to be going on February 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 3-day ones. All it is, $500 buy-in, $75 club entry fee, and you're in.
Yeah. No, Mike and I are both going to play it. Hopefully we bag early.
Yeah, on day 1, I need a couple of days off. We're getting old here. Need to rest up.
Need to see if anybody wants to sell a little piece. Forget Bitcoin. Let me put a few shekels on you, Corey, in that tournament. Will you sell me a little piece of your action there?
Thanks a lot, Rick. What am I,
You too, Mike. Of course. I've already
Damn,
figured you'd sell me a little piece.
I'm gonna charge you double now.
Double.
Ace, deuce, 9.
I may sell a little piece of that 3,500 WPT I'm doing.
Man.
But that one will make sense. These quote smaller buy-ins, $5 buy-ins. I'll kind of like cover myself.
I know. You can afford the 500. It's not about affording. It's about having friends coming along for the ride. The sweat.
Oh, having a rail, huh?
Having a rail. Can't hurt.
Maybe you can swap a little equity there.
Yeah. Brianna
Swap.
with ace 5 flops an ace. And Mayo comes along with such a small bet. He says, maybe I'll hit a queen here. But if he does, it's going to be, he hit a pair. But
That could be danger.
Danger Will Robinson. Here we go. He's going to think about betting here.
Might be getting a little tired there. I don't really like that check call out of position on the flop.
Yeah, I would definitely. This is like
So
a.
now he got his hands stuck in the cookie jar a little bit, and now when Brianna fires out again and you spike a pair on the turn, now what do? Your stack is dwindling and you're in a tough spot. He's going to rip it all in here, so this could be it. Brianna grabbing the chips, and we could have a new champion.
Wow.
So drawing to just a queen and a 7, or else we're going to have a new champion of the Art of Poker here at the Lodge in Round Rock. Let's see what the river brings.
5 outs.
Third pair, queen 7, and
5K on the line here on this river card. A new champion at stake. What will it bring?
It's a 6.
that's it, folks.
Brianna Taylor will win the Art of Poker and take first prize. Mayo finishing a very respectable second. And he'll go to the cage to collect his $7,599. And Brianna Taylor, congratulations, with the dog. The dog is sleeping. The dog needs some food. For goodness sake, wake up the dog.
Go Aggies. Yeah.
And we want to congratulate all the players. And guys, I want to congratulate you for making it through a full live stream, our first ever tournament live stream, and I think it went well.
I hope to see more of these. Have an edited version and have a full version and let people choose.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, next week we're going to have our 5-5 uncapped game. That was going to be usually our main game on Saturdays, but every now and again we will stream the big tournaments, the final table, just like this, the Art of Poker. Well done. Monster Fields, over 50K plus in the prize pool, and a big winner.
For
Bronson, yep, Brianna Bronson. Yes.
Yep. Congratulations for Mike Reisman and Corey Siegel. My name is Rick Epstein. We will see you next time on Poker Night at the Lodge.